We're here? We're here. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Friday, July 29th. We are live from Uncle Earls.
Good evening.
I guess that's evening, too. Good late afternoon.
This is Grandma's dinner time.
This is what?
I still think it's early for Grandma's dinner. Grandma's dinner time is like 5:30. We're almost there.
Oh, almost there.
Almost there. The line at Piccadilly is starting to get backed up a little bit right now.
The Jello.
Yeah.
Pudding.
Oh, we are brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We always love our Good Friday
Freedom.
shows. A lot of BSing, a lot of conversation, a lot of talk, a lot of making fun of Lloyd. We got a great
It's got a fresh
show
cut today, though.
Yeah.
got a lot of
Show
things
the
happening.
flow. Yeah, show the
Recruiting.
flow. Okay.
The recruiting trail is kind of heating up a little bit more for football. They've gotten a couple more commits. Another guy announced that he was going to commit. We are in his final four or five schools.
Zachary safety.
Huh?
Zachary safety.
Zachary safety.
Kylan Jackson.
Carter Young announced he's coming to LSU. You have Paul Skenes announced that he is coming to LSU, which I guess they're going to let him do both. I didn't realize he had 13 taters last year. It's pretty impressive behind the plate and being a pitcher.
I would think he would just DH. I wouldn't think he would want, because I'm assuming he's good enough to be in the weekend rotation. I don't think Jay would want.
It just depends on how good what he wants to do. If he feels like he wants to hit and be they've had that conversation.
Well, no.
Before.
I would say he could hit. I'm just saying if he's in your weekend rotation, I don't see Jay putting him behind the plate. Yeah,
They might bat 12 next year.
When you have 5 DHs, you can't DH everybody. You know what
they got some guys. Right
well, if
now.
he can win the DH job. I'm saying he won't be behind the plate if he's in the weekend rotation.
No.
I wouldn't think.
No, I wouldn't think so. But maybe he's a starter, so I don't know.
Pardon my ignorance.
Maybe he just has big ass balls and doesn't care.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Pardon me, but like, what did he do at Air Force? Like, all right, these are the days you're catching, and these are the days you're pitching. There's no way.
He was the Friday night guy and caught the other two.
He pitched first and then catch the next 2 games of the series. So he wasn't pitching after catching.
See, that doesn't feel very big. That feels very Air Force, right?
Yeah.
Matt Wieters was a closer. He wasn't a starter. He was a closer. He caught. Buster Posey was a catcher. Pitched. He was a closer. Never
How
really
often?
start. They caught every day.
No, I know Buster Posey caught every day. How often did he pitch?
I mean, he was a closer.
He's a closer.
So whenever they needed him to pitch, he would pitch. But my thing is, if you're a starter,
Roll the tape off.
Oh, yeah, gotta get untaped.
oh yeah. My thing is, if you are a starter and you do pitch on Friday as a starter, I think you can do it. You can last because you have 7 days in between starts in college, or 6 days in between starts. You pitch every 7th day, so I think that it's possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, the workload he probably had at Air Force and the competition he's facing Air Force obviously doesn't compare to what he's about to face.
I would imagine
the
if nothing less, he's going to get pinch hitter bats off the bench. At nothing less.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, he's going to do – I think they want him as an arm.
Yeah, he's mainly a pitcher. He pitched for the collegiate national team.
Yeah.
He didn't hit for them.
Okay.
Well, that's where he fits in then.
What?
I think
That makes the most sense.
I think he's going to end
on the
up
mound?
being,
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's going to end up being the Friday or Saturday starter, if I had to guess. Him and Thatcher are going to fight
That's
that
it.
I know we're all enamored. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine today. And I know we're all enamored about all the new arms, and we needed them. We need the depth. We need the arms. We need the talent.
These are slapping.
I'm not joking when I say, and I tell you, that the best arm may already be on the team.
Taylor?
Yes. And so I know we're talking about all these guys being Friday, Saturday. Like, they're going to have to go and compete for this job, and they're going to have to earn it. And I think you have a guy there that now says, hey, wait, look at me. Watch what I did in the Cape. And I'm not here just to be a weekend guy or a midweek guy or a back into the bullpen guy. Like, I'm here to be
the guy.
Starter, and I'm a draft eligible sophomore. And so I wouldn't be so sure. Like, look, these other
you
guys
make
are
a really good points in the sense of I do think that all of these transfer portal signs and the guys that came in the draft too, I think it really does. For the guys that stayed here, whether you were 100% staying or not, I think it literally put them all on notice, like, hey, step up. Like, competition's real this year.
No doubt.
Like, right here.
No doubt. We have our infield depth gets bigger with Carter Young. That's a nice addition. You know, he didn't sign. He's coming here. He's experienced. He's a switch hitter. Like, that's going to help the depth in our infield, whether he starts.
I typed up the roster last night before he announced. He didn't really have infield depth.
No, that's the one thing. Now, you had guys who could play, but you didn't have infield depth.
Yeah.
Right now, you can, if Gavin doesn't take the job right from the beginning, you don't have to rush to get him in there. He can learn a little bit and play behind. You have a bona fide middle infield that has experience in college. You have the third base job is open.
Gavin's working in the infield too. Dugas.
Yeah, right. You have Gavin Dugas, you have Gavin Guidry, and you have Tyler White. Tommy White. Tyler White's already in the big leagues.
Is Tommy White still in the big leagues?
Or he was in the big leagues.
He was.
Tommy White, all vying for that third base role / DH role / hey, is Trey Morgan going to go to the outfield / first base role / we have a lot of guys / I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm going to say this right here.
Yeah.
I know I've been literally strong the other way. I do think there's a good chance that Trey plays some outfield.
He could. And I think that's gonna, I know
his
he's so
draft-
good.
I'm just going to say this one. I do think there's a good chance that Trey plays some outfield.
Let me tell you why.
No,
Let me tell you why.
Wait, hold on.
draft
Is this
purposes.
based on something you know or just gut feel? Well, add
gut.
feel.
It's a gut feel.
It's based off of what I project him to be in the big leagues or as a draft prospect.
Lloyd, that sentiment right there is stronger than you think when it comes to college guys getting out.
I'm agreeing with you in the sense that baseball is in a position where they want players who are versatile and that can play different positions.
Yeah.
And
it's only going to help.
If Trey can play in the outfield and play well in the outfield, now he's not considered just a first baseman, so he doesn't have to hit 30 pumps.
You just have to understand, as a first baseman, like it's more of a profile game than you think, right? Like if he goes to the big leagues, if you look at him right now, you see him as a hitter and you see what he's done as a hitter. Do you project him to hit 30 homers in the big leagues right now?
No.
Year in and year out? Fairly, no, not right now, right? So with that being said, listen. With that being said, he is going to have to hit 320 unless he's on a team that has a shortstop that's a MVP candidate and a second baseman that's an MVP candidate because they hit bombs. Like that's what it's going to have to turn into. So for him, it would do him a lot of help to be able to be versatile and be able to move around.
No doubt, and he can. I watched him take fly balls in the outfield. He looks good out there. He is a left-handed hitting, left-handed throwing, athletic first baseman, right? But if you can say, hey, if it in the draft and it says OF/1B, that gives you more value, especially with what he does really well, which is bat-to-ball skills, hand-eye coordination, the way he can hit and his approach. All of that will play bigger if he has multiple positions. At least that's what were you going to say?
No, I understand, I guess, a little bit of why position is tied to what you should do at the plate in terms of like, oh, we got a great defensive catcher. We're not worried about what he does hitting-wise. Why doesn't that kind of be the same? I mean, I feel like that's what Trey Morgan is at first base.
Because they value offense more than defense at first.
I understand
he
doesn't hit pumps, that's fine, but he could hit 3.
Well, I'm just going to ask you this. Just find me
Anthony Rizzo.
No.
Anthony Rizzo.
No, in terms of he can hit for contact.
No, listen. Just listen.
Anthony Rizzo is a 30 home run guy.
He's a 30 home run guy. He gets hit 30 times a year.
Anthony Rizzo's hit 20 home runs every year he's been in the big leagues.
I don't see that far-fetched for Trey Morgan in 3 years, 5 years.
Well, what has he done to show you that he has that?
He has. It reminds me a little bit of I have pop when I want to. Like, he can tug on one when he wants. Like, it's not Ichiro to an extent.
I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm saying
but
I don't think you understand
like
the difference in like a guy that literally when he shows up for spring training, you can pencil down 20 plus.
It's Tommy Tanks.
It's completely different than a guy that can. Oh, look at that one. He hit that one well. That's.
I think he's got more power there than he showed, but I don't think that.
I don't think you can draft him.
Well, you can't let Mondo cancel us twice.
I know that's why I had to move the camera down.
I don't think you can draft him off of. I think he's going to hit 20 plus every year, so yes, he should only stay at first base.
They're going to draft him and say he has power potential. We see him at a 10 to 15 home run guy, potential 10 to 15 home run guy a year. Right? They're not going to draft him with the potential to hit 20. Now he may develop into that, but I just don't. He hasn't showed anything right now. For him. Now listen, a lot of things can happen. What's going on? You can't hear?
Had a little Nintendo 64 action.
Yeah, blow it and try again.
Yeah.
Clean it out. But like, listen, if you look at.
I swear this never happened.
You look at Antoine Duplantis' career at LSU. Always good hitter. Had a bunch of he broke the record for most hits at LSU. His last year there, he had 13 homers. He had never even come close to double digits in his career, then 13. But he didn't get drafted as a power guy. A lot of those things can happen in college where you hit homers and you're still not projected as like a guy who's going to drive in hit a bunch of homers in professional baseball. It's just a different type of animal. I think that he has potential he could. I think that moving the outfield would help, though.
I also think this year's team would allow him to move more than like this past year's. Like they kind of needed him at first.
No, right,
base.
no doubt.
This year they have the guys like Tommy or Skenes that can play first if he's not there.
Right.
And you
No,
feel
100%. I mean,
and also if Skenes pitching, he probably hit. You might DH for your catcher. I just thought about that when you said it.
yeah, but you can't do that. You can't do that.
You can't do that?
Because you want him to go CG every game? Yeah, it'd be great, but he's not.
Yeah, I guess.
So then when he comes out the game, now you have to double switch. Now you're burning two guys.
Unless you're in a situation where he comes out and you're able to pinch hit every time because that bench is deep.
Mm-hmm.
Say if he goes 7,
like
if he goes 6 or
school,
goes 7, and you go 1-1-1
how
after,
the National League used to be.
there's only going to be one more at bat in there anyway.
Well, it depends because like
If he goes 6 to 7, there's
right,
only one
but
more.
if he goes 4,
if he goes 4, he's out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what you're stuck with.
These hypotheticals are a beautiful thing.
can
talk about these hypotheticals.
And here's the other thing.
It's deep.
He's got talent. He's got ability. He had put up really good numbers. Now, level of competition increases exponentially. Him coming here. His biggest the best team he faced last year was Texas. He gave up 7 runs. 7 runs to Texas. I'm not saying that. That's just a fluke thing, maybe. But my point is,
Hopefully
he has to come here and he has to pitch against Texas caliber plus probably better every week.
I know Dylan took him yard their freshman year. When we opened the season here, Dylan took him way yard.
I mean, we are going to be deep. We're going to have a lot of homers. We are going to have a lot of guys that throw really hard. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year. But now, we'll say this. If Jay does not get to the World Series, I think at this point, he's got to go to the finals.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Going into year 2, I think there's more pressure into him.
No doubt. He brought all of his guys in now. He has no excuses.
He's brought a ton of guys in. It's easy to say that the team's been upgraded. Like, if he doesn't get there, I think that seat gets pretty hot.
Yeah, it definitely warms up.
It's pretty hot.
What is wrong with
And that's just off of knowing what this place has been in history here.
I mean, I'm just going he can't say he brought on all of his guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's not going to succeed or not going to get there, but he has brought in all of his recruits.
Yeah.
He's brought in the talent. He is bringing all these guys that he wants to be here at LSU.
And even more so than the past, where it was, hey, I need to get my guys in, and my guys necessarily for the most part was young freshmen, so guys that he's got a lot of transfer guys. Today's game is different, right? So you got guys with a lot of innings, a lot of at-bats, and a lot of experience under their belt already. Them coming in it's more of a magnification of you have to win now.
Yep.
Just is what it is.
No doubt. And I mean, I know it's a tough statement to say. Like his seat will be hot if he doesn't make it there, and that may be a slight of an exaggeration, but
depending on how
I'm
it
with
happens.
you though, because this team, as far as talent wise, is going to be the most talented team in the country.
Well, and that's why I said depending on how it happens. Like say they get dismantled by injuries next year, I think that seat is not as hot.
Right.
But if that team's healthy and they play and they just don't play and they just underachieve, I think it's.
I'm not saying
hot.
fire hot, but I'm saying that it's going to have some pressure to make a run the next year.
There'll be a lot of attention to that spot.
But we'll see. Luckily for him, he's got a long way to go, and he can wait. He can take his time and groom these guys and coach these guys up and, allow them to create the chemistry because that's important, on the field, in the locker room, off the field. We'll see. But it's not baseball season anymore, boys. It is, but not really. It's not really baseball season again until the postseason starts.
One more thing. You think they'll be the preseason number 1, or they'll give it to Tennessee? Those are the 2 I've seen.
I think they'll be in the top 3 preseason.
Another hype. Would you rather them be the number 1 team in the country going into the tournament or number 2? Just because of the number 1 curse.
Tournament?
Yeah, the number 1 curse.
So here's the deal. This is the difference, right? Like, just because you're the number 1 team in the country doesn't mean you're going to be the number 1 national seed. We were the number 1 team in the country in 2009. We were the number 3 national seed.
But that's what I meant, the national seed. Like the number 1 national seed curse.
Listen, if you're good enough, it don't matter.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I don't really pay attention to
If
this.
you're, like,
I saw
it's,
somebody
Because
tweet
the
about
way
that.
we saw our team is that we started the year number 1. We were basically like the number 1 team all through the year, and we finished. So we never even like 3 national. So who cares?
Yeah.
We were the number 1 team. Like that's
right,
how we saw it.
Right.
So-
yeah, we went end to end, coast to coast, baby.
There you go.
But
Wire to wire.
I would push back.
Couch to
oh, you're
couch.
back.
I don't even
Yeah,
know
back.
You're back.
Babysitting this wire over here. I put it in my lap.
You're back. I
The
know it was
dog
eating you
walked
up.
this
Opening
thing.
to ending. We took it
It's
to
got
every game we
bodied
could
by
possibly.
Moon
Yeah, it was
Equipment.
eating
Started
you up a
to
little
close.
bit.
But I would say, like, if you have, I mean, Tony Vitello's not on the hot seat after what they just did. Like, you have to give
I
it-
don't know about that.
Well, okay, listen.
I think that's a little different.
I'm not saying he's in the
Wow.
house.
250 plus in a row is different. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Now, if you go 350 plus and then you don't get to Omaha again, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Here's my deal.
This is your guy. This is Scott
No,
Retire.
stop,
This
stop,
is the
stop,
guy.
stop.
Well,
They
no,
haven't done that ever
he,
there.
no,
dude.
because
They-
he
they-
got
program
the,
LSU
the, expect, the
program
expectation
completely
at the
different.
championship
Yeah,
ain't the same
completely
as here.
different. Completely different.
And that would beg the question of
Tennessee's
you're going to
never
get
been
this doing better. He's trying his best. He's getting players in to win.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, but
I'm talking about Jay Johnson.
here, who's gonna get to better? So it's not about getting the players in. It's about winning. If you're getting the players in, and you're not winning, then that's a
Lord,
direct.
you should
effect
be
on
ashamed of
you.
yourself for saying that because you know what this place is.
Right. And
They don't care here about you
I'm not
getting
saying
the
he's not going to
players.
succeed. I think he is going to, but if he doesn't,
Yeah.
just because you get the top
you know
tier
what this
talent
is here.
and you can't win, then that
They
falls on
don't. They
you.
don't care here about that.
That's like Coach
and-
O. Like Coach
and
O
I
got
know,
the
I
players,
I
but didn't
understand.
win.
Yeah, I understand all that part, but it feels like he. I mean, I don't even have to say it. He is much more put together than Coach O is. You don't have to worry
Well,
about
yeah,
what Jay
and we
Johnson's
know
doing.
that.
No,
We were
24/7,
That's not- and that's
365.
that's never been
No,
the
but I
argument.
know what your greater point is. But to give a guy 2 years to a program that he wants to build his way, and
No,
then
we're
be
not-
like
they didn't
after
say
2
he'd be
years,
fired
and
after
you
next
say no, but you say your seat's hot if you get to Omaha.
No, if you
No,
don't.
no, if you don't get to
No,
Omaha.
but it
And
feels
depending
like
on the fashion
no,
it
and I'm
happens.
with you because of what he's done. Is he's brought in people where it feels like this is a push to win
Multiple.
the national championship this year. Like you don't
Yeah.
bring in all these guys because they're going to all be.
I'm not saying you have to.
It's a
win
total
it, but if you
roster
don't-
transition from people that you could have built, like you could have built a team with to going. All right, I'm going to
Yeah.
flex some of
But
these
you're
people
not-
out
you're not-
to
I'm
win a
not
national
saying-
championship this year. But the pressure is definitely on.
I'll,
He
I'll say
ratcheted it on
this.
himself.
I'll say this. Let me just put it to you this way. Just think of this, right? So the year that they had this year, right, and then the season ends, tournament starts. The draw that they got, and not getting past that round,
A failure.
you would say that's a failure, correct?
Well, because of the way that it shook out.
Okay. So then when we
But that's
when-
baseball.
Okay, so let me ask you this again. So then when the next year starts and you'll have at least three preseason All-Americans on the team again, at least three, right? You'll have at least
Yeah,
three.
you might have 5.
That's what I'm just giving it. At least 3 on the team again. If you're not able to make it to Omaha again, so would that be failure, and then now you're being like, yeah, I see us getting better. Is that how would you see? You get what I'm saying? Like that's not how this
It kind
place
of depends
looks
on
at
how
the
it
job.
happens. You can't really say
And
that
that's
now.
why I say it, how it happens. It's
Listen,
not.
I've talked to 3 college coaches that are on different programs, that are my friends, that I've met, that I trust. They say, hey, listen, with all these motherfuckers that he is bringing in, if he doesn't, he should win the national championship. If he doesn't, they would consider that. Now, obviously, that's a bold statement, and they're mad because they're not getting all these players. I get that. They're not mad, but, like, they see what he's doing.
They see what the players.
They see what he's doing, and they see the talent that he's bringing in and the team that he's putting together. And if he doesn't make that run, people will consider that a failure. I think that if he doesn't make it to Omaha, they severely underachieve.
And I'll say this too, much like we get the pitching coach here, we had him on, dude. He straight up told you there was 2 places in the country, he didn't name the other, that he would leave to go for. You don't come here to make it to supers. You don't come here kind of just to get to Omaha. There's one thing that's in goal here every
That
year.
intimidator.
And so if you can't do that, if you can't get the team to even be there, which I don't think that's going to be the case, that's when it becomes a conversation. Just how it is
yeah.
here.
Putting it on the poll.
What?
Putting it on the poll. Let the people decide.
Okay.
It'll probably be a resounding yes.
I'm not saying
What's
you
the
should get
question?
fired. We're not saying by
I'm
any
not
means
either.
he's
Like-
I said
fired.
hot. No, I just said hot seat.
I'm saying, and I'll even say his seat will start warming. Like, he's not gonna have a 6-year. Like, it's not. He didn't come to a rebuild.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I'm gonna say before we move on. He didn't come
Yeah.
into a rebuild. Why do you raise your eyes every time I say that? He came in with 4 All-Americans on his team.
But would you not say he's rebuilt the team?
No. Okay, look, but listen.
But it wasn't-
Well, where was the
it
team the
wasn't
year
a
before? Where
rebuild.
was the team the year before?
The Supers.
The Supers.
Right, and that's
So you didn't come to a rebuild.
That's
You
my
can't
point.
rebuild
A
the team
rebuild
that's
is
in the
a team
Supers.
That's a failing team that
Yeah.
is not good, that has no talent.
But
that's a rebuild where it takes you years to bring your guys in.
Let's call it a revamping then. He revamped the team. He didn't rebuild. Like, you don't have to rebuild. It wasn't in the spot to rebuild.
He had 4 Americans, a number 1 recruiting class in the country the year before. He
and
inherited that. That's not a rebuild.
Well, he didn't inherit it all, but he brought a transfer with him.
Yeah, but the high school.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that whole class. So we can speak about this correctly.
No doubt.
But I mean, you took over a team that was in the supers. That's not a rebuild. I'm sorry, I don't care. That's not a rebuild.
You're bringing in new blood, a new voice, but you're not rebuilding a team.
And now he has molded it into his
own thing.
team.
Yeah.
Like this is
that's my point. Though.
Totally
that's why
different look.
If he molded into what he wants, and if they don't win, if they don't make it to Omaha with the team that he's got, this is going to be one of the most talented teams he ever coaches, ever, based off of what he's brought in.
With what the landscape of this, the landscape of this thing is. It's not pro ball. Like, there's the transfer portal, there's early draft eligible guys. Like, it's not like guys are going to be here for 4 years.
Listen, he's got 3.
Guys are in and out. So, like, you're kind of in a place like this. It kind of is a year thing. Because he's going to lose a lot of guys.
Let's think of it this way. After next year, let's say they go ahead and they make the deep run. They won the World Series. You lose Dylan.
Trey.
You lose Trey. You lose
Skenes.
Skenes. You lose Grant Taylor probably if he's as good as we think he is. He's a draft eligible sophomore.
Maybe Thompson.
You lose Thompson probably.
Carter Young.
You lose Carter Young, and you lose Ty Floyd probably, and Dugas.
And Joe Bear.
Yeah. So
and that's the reason
that is what I'm saying is, like, you are putting yourself with an experienced team with a bunch of talented guys, and you have like that. This is your now. You have guys behind them, and you still have the portal that's going to be able to fill it in, but you are losing a lot of the guys that have been there with the chemistry and the experience of playing here. That's the difference. It's a lot. It's a big year for him because
there's no doubt.
Afterwards, it's a big turnover.
But that's what leads me to my next, like, what my point would be is, all the things that you just listed and what he's done in the past year is he's been able to go get guys out the portal and sell LSU. If he's able to win a national championship this year or even make a hell of a run at Omaha. Like, you know how hard it is to win.
I just gotta get to Omaha. Yes.
You're right. Like, but you can't go 2 and out. You got to get there, make a presence, like have the entire.
You got to be in the tournament, like in the fight.
But if he does the opposite of that, where it's like not very impressive and he has all this talent, the transfer portal thing probably isn't as impressive as it was this year, where you're selling LSU. Let's get this thing back right the way it's supposed to be. It's a brand.
This is a crossroads year.
No, but I'm saying. This is what I like about Jay Johnson. He's put himself directly in the crosshairs.
He knows.
Well, I think when you take this job, you're directly in the crosshairs. Like,
no doubt. And so
he's
embracing all of that. But it's like, I'm going to get the best players in the country, whether they be high school.
Like, I can tell you this right now, and I'm just thinking back on it. When Eric comes here his first year, we were 29, 26-1, and the second year probably a good.
Y'all were
month and a half through the season, we were 11th out of 12th in the SEC.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he was feeling
pressure.
A ton of pressure.
And that's with the number 1 recruiting class in the country that he brought.
And that was with the number 1 recruiting class in the country that he brought that year. DJ was here. All those guys were here.
Gibbs.
Matt Clark was here. Renato was here.
Dean
was here.
You.
Schimpf was here. I was here.
Sean
was here. Lewis Coleman was here. All those guys were here, and we were like 11th out of 12th in the SEC before we went on that winning streak. I guarantee you he was sitting here saying, I might be done if this keeps going this way. I guarantee you he was. That's just what the LSU job is. Take it or leave it.
Similar to football. Speaking of football.
I think it might be.
More.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because the baseball guys are baseball. They know their shit.
And we've had more stability on the baseball side, so we don't know yet, like, how quick that trigger is. Because, like, the only quick trigger we had over the last 30 years was smoke.
Yeah.
Right? And that was kind of like anybody who was going to follow Skip was going to have a quick trigger,
that
right?
guy died on the sword.
Right. Like, that's just kind of how it was. Then Maneri was there for a long time. And so this will be the first time we've had that big transition, and we'll see. But football's had,
success,
recently.
Success.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. But speaking of football.
Yeah, it's literally Enron. It's the most volatile stock market of all time. It's like, buy. I mean, you got to get it. You got to buy it. It's like, what were we doing with that business?
It's the Great Depression.
Yeah. Never bought them out. I'm never buying stocks again.
Football's going to be good, though. Football's going to be fun. They're going to be good. I'm excited. Especially after, he's getting this offensive line right. They're right. They're playing well. I was told yesterday that Emory Jones is going to be in the
Starters.
starters.
Don't
Sorry.
that.
I was told he'll probably be a starter.
He's
Him
good.
and Will Campbell both will be. I mean, Will Campbell obviously is, but
From Catholic,
Yeah.
they don't let him graduate early. He wanted to come in early
I know.
and be a part of like early spring ball
yeah,
and like
he would be
solidify-
starting now. If
Yeah.
that was the case. But I was told that he is.
That dude.
They may not.
Oh,
they
yeah,
may
he's
not
that
have
guy.
him right now listed as a starter in the depth chart. He is a starter. He will be starting.
He's that good.
He's that guy.
That's what I've heard.
Him and Will they'll be two.
So the offensive line is
great
going
ones.
to be stacked. You're about to get another offensive lineman, or you did get another offensive lineman from St. Aug, who committed to LSU. 4-star guy. Does that meet your standards?
That's what I'm chasing.
LSU
Baby. Purple
guy.
Knights.
Local
Top
LSU
Louisiana guy.
4-star
That's all that
Louisiana guy.
matters.
That's
I don't
up to-
care how
up
many
to Lloyd
stars are next to
standards.
him.
Up
Don't
to
let him
Lloyd
leave
standards.
the state.
You have another guy.
My God, Jared Mitchell. Don't let him leave the state.
Don't let him leave the state.
Who's the one that's making his decision?
The Zachary safety,
Safety,
Kylan
Jackson.
Can't let him leave the
4-star
state.
safety.
There you go. There you go. Right down the street.
He's right
So,
there.
Those are two that Lloyd must have called and said, "Hey, we got to get these guys."
They're in the
Somebody was
state.
listening.
These
Somebody
guys,
with some pull
we
was
can't
listening.
lose the in-state guys. That's what Lloyd says. We can't lose them. So
And
we
look
need
at them
to
now.
have
They
them.
started recruiting the state
Hey,
heavy.
They heard you. They're
That's
listening
right.
to the show.
Obviously.
But
Talk to all the coaches every time
They
they
need
come
to start
in.
paying you, Lloyd.
Hey,
Get you on the payroll.
I think we're in a good spot. I think the offensive line's gonna be really good.
love
Obviously,
purple, live gold.
just means more.
Live
It just
purple.
means
That's the SEC.
graduate champions.
Commitment to excellence.
Name another one.
I don't know. Is there any more? Is that even one? Commitment to excellence. Is that one?
I don't know.
I just made that up. But
The standard is the standard.
it's gonna be good. I mean, listen, they start in a month. 1 month.
I
gonna be
think
exciting.
season
Six
I
days
think
from
season
camp.
starts when you show up, because that's when the body stops feeling good.
You're right.
6
Um,
days.
Wait, when does fall start?
6 days.
6 days when it officially
Next
starts.
Thursday.
What's the first day of fall like?
Hot as shit.
Well, I think Hester's told stories of, I don't know, you were probably there, but it was a commit that played wide receiver from California that showed up his first day and walked off the field. He was like, not for me. I don't know if you were there. I don't know if you remember the name. I don't. But
It doesn't. I'm gonna be honest with you though. Practice really doesn't start until the first day of full pads.
But that's
Well,
my
everything's
question.
fine.
That's
Yeah.
my next
Everything's
thing. That's my next thing. So I know it's different in college. In high school, it's like you get there, you're in summer, you're doing summer workouts, you're doing 7-on-7s, you're doing all your stuff, you're not in pads. The minute you put on pads, it
fun.
feels so much different. Like you're
At-
like,
at
I have-
every, I'm gonna just be
I have
honest.
to
with
get
you.
ready, get used to my head to get in here.
I'm gonna be honest with you too.
It's so
The fu-
heavy.
Yeah.
And the
Like,
funny
whoa.
part about it is no, because you use helmets like the first
No,
couple
but like the
days,
whole,
but
like,
you
the
put
pads.
no. I'm just saying. It's really funny because everybody looks good. Everybody's moving at 1,000 miles per hour. Everybody's got their head on the right side and they're filling their gaps correctly. The minute you put pads on, though, things
That's the
change
difference.
real
That's
quick.
the equalizer right
Seven or
there.
Things
eight,
change
the real
real
from
quick.
the fake.
That is the equalizer right there.
That's a. I didn't have to trim this roster at all.
And it ain't even about the real tackling either. It's just like, hey, if I butt you up, it's gonna be real. Like I'm gonna hit you.
Well,
I
that-
might not put you all the way down, but I'm gonna hit you.
No, you're gonna get that
Yeah,
shock.
I'm gonna
Like,
hit you.
I don't think I should be. He was going 80% and I was going 100. That did not feel good.
I'm a finesse guy. I'm not.
Don't touch me.
This ain't me.
Fair catching everything.
And you go, like, you're running routes, and, like, it's easy to whip your head around, make sure you get her out your cut. Now you have the helmet's a little heavier, and, like, you're a little slower on the coming in and out of the cut. It's like, damn.
LaRon Landry's lurking.
Takes you a little time to get loose, get
It's a
used
little
to it. At least, I mean, I can't imagine how it was in college, but, like, when I was playing, that's how it felt. College is probably, obviously,
10x.
yeah, way more magnified, but it's fun.
I mean, there may not be a worse day than when it's time for helmets and pads. In terms
No,
of just
no,
like,
you love it. You love
I know,
it, though.
but everything was fun, and it's like we're about to find out a
everything
lot
was
about
easy.
everybody.
It was
here.
easy.
Well, it's
Yeah,
just
like-
7-on-7 football. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
before
Everybody's
that,
good.
Yeah, everybody's good. I can run routes on air and if nobody
Yeah.
touch me, attack me all day.
Man, I was making friends. Now we're about to make some enemies.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Cardinals felt a lot of heat, or what, on that contract?
Oh God. Then what a debacle.
They said, hey, you know what? We're going to come back and
Debacle.
just debacle. Debacle's the word.
What a
That's the key
debacle.
word.
That's so bad.
They just went back and said, okay, you know what?
They showed their hand.
We're not gonna-
Let's just talk about this too, because the real thing about that whole contract, which blows my mind, is that the public doesn't get that contract, right? Like, the public doesn't get a chance to look at that contract from front to back.
Right.
So someone in that building
Yep. Leaked it.
leaked that page, which lets you know what they kind of think about Kyler.
Or do you think Kyler's people leaked it so that they would get blowback, so they would take it out of the contract.
I mean, Kyler's not looking any better right now. So
no, it didn't look good. But
if they wanted to, withstand the onslaught they're getting right now.
But maybe they thought, hey, this is not fair. It's too open-ended. How do you know what is? How do you know?
Maybe, but here's my thing: the way he answers stuff in the press conference and stuff like that didn't seem to be like it was a calculated move on their side.
No, maybe not. And maybe
it's very biased.
I'm just listening. I don't think it. I don't know.
I think it came from within the building. If you put that in the contract, somebody else in the building is thinking that too. That's just how.
But what? So my next question is why? What good does that do for your program in the building to do it?
To do it? Or to do it or to take it out?
You put it in the contract. No, to leak it. You put it in the contract, which means you want it in the contract as the team.
So my guess is this.
You leak it. What does that do other than give you bad publicity?
No, my guess is this.
You just paid money to a guy.
No, my guess is this. Let's be honest. Like, how many people are seeing the contract? How many people are writing up the contract? How many people are actually in the conversation for that? Probably not that many, right? Probably the owner, maybe the GM.
Right.
That doesn't mean that that's who leaked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could come from anyone in the organization that might have seen that.
My point is like why, but like if you're with the organization, don't you think you'd be more on the team side, right?
Yeah, maybe.
It's like why? Like what is the whole point of leaking it other than like wanting it out? If you're in the organization, you want it in there because it gives you a little bit of control.
It sounds like dysfunction to me. That's what it sounds like.
And that's kind of what went on last year. There was a lot of dysfunction. There was a lot of drama.
Sounds like dysfunction. That sounds like what a perfect world would look like, right? But to me, I think we'd be crazy to think that there's 32 teams where everyone under that thing that's wearing the same colors is literally thinking on the same line, or it would be an unbelievably, wildly competitive league, and you probably wouldn't see 2 game winners.
Yeah.
Like teams like the Lions running around with 2 games, or you know what I mean? Like
right.
You probably wouldn't see that if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wild thing to me. It was a wild addition to a contract. Now it's wild that they've walked it back.
How do you walk that back? Do you have to rewrite the whole thing? Sign it again?
I don't know.
You add an addendum. You got so embarrassed, I guess, publicly by, and this is why I kind of started with Mikey on this thing. That was a total PR nightmare.
It does make
for both sides.
I will say this. It does make me wonder.
I think the agent leaked it. Like he was the first one to go to the press. Like, can you believe they're asking a quarterback to do 4 hours of film study? Well, the agent's going, Kyler's not going to do that. Like, get it. Like, what can we do to get it out the contract?
Right. It's too open ended. Like,
I do wonder this.
How can you monitor it?
Yeah,
like,
I really do wonder this.
And then you do the thing where like you don't believe in the quarterback. They just signed a $120 million guaranteed contract. Like,
my point.
I do wonder this. Obviously, I would go very far to say that I think the agent saw it. I really do wonder if Kyler ever saw it. Like, did he literally just get the contract and sign that, or did he actually read through it? If I had to guess,
I'm not reading the whole contract.
If I had to guess,
my agent's supposed to. I hire my agent so he tells me what's in it.
Yeah, he highlights that bullet point and say they have
but
this
you don't
contingency.
have to read the whole contract to see kind of some of the addendums. Like, maybe look over.
Right.
I mean, we're signing a $300 million deal here. Like,
let me
just
with
kind of look at a little bit of fine print. Like, I mean, come on, man.
I'm reading it.
Or did he literally say, "Hey, get that thing. Let me sign this as fast as I can, so they can give me this money"? Which one?
To me, I would
because the
assume,
agent gets that money too.
Yeah.
I would assume that the agent and him were having the conversations beforehand and say, "Hey, the only reason, this is we're negotiating, and now this is the." To me, it seems like they came to a negotiation, and that was kind of like slid in there as like a whatever.
It's literally in the contract.
I know.
So I couldn't.
I know. That's why I think that
unless
was
they never talked about it and then put it in there.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
And that's not good, Will. Either. That's not good either.
Sounds like a lot of dysfunction.
Sounds like the whole thing's fucked.
Yeah.
Boy.
But they have to have Kyler.
Yeah, he's there. He's good.
It's not. It doesn't. I don't care if they walked it back or not. It still doesn't. It doesn't bode well for the perception of Kyler in that organization.
100%.
No,
unless they get to 10 plus wins, and unless he plays better in the second half.
Exactly.
All of that stuff. Like, it just doesn't look good for him.
Like, as soon as he has one bad game, they're gonna be like, those 4 hours.
No, not one bad game. As soon as they get past the first 6 games, and that area where they think you're supposed to start making adjustments and kind of playing. If they don't start doing that, they're gonna.
If he doesn't reverse the trend of the last 3 years, it will bring up question marks, no doubt. And that's on him. That's on the organization. That's on whatever happened and why it happened. That's on all of them.
Yeah.
I'm bummed about this one. This next thing I'm about to talk about, I understand it. I didn't think that he was actually going to come back to New Orleans. I didn't think that we had room for him in New Orleans. I know that we wanted him back in New Orleans. Quan signs with the Jets. I think that, obviously at this point he's been hurt a couple times. Hey, he's like, I'm going to go where I'm going to get my money.
Hey, he was hurt, just chase the money.
No doubt. And, you should. And, listen, there may not have been a role that he wanted in New Orleans. He probably wanted to be the starter. New Orleans probably didn't want him to be the starter because he had Pete Werner. Like, you have a bunch of things. I have no problem with it.
I have no problem. I understand it, dude. It is what it is. He's on the tail end of it.
Hey, the Jets defense next year is going to be okay.
Yeah, they might be okay. And he's going somewhere where he's got history, too.
Yeah.
He played well for that guy. So,
Robert,
I mean, it is what it is.
The Jets defense is going to be pretty solid. The Jets aren't going to be great. I think they're going to be obviously better than they were last year. I'm a fan of Wilson. Like, I'm a fan. I think he's good. I think he's going to be really good. Before he blew up his last year at BYU, I wanted the Saints, because I thought he was going to be like a mid-rounder, right? Yeah. Going into the year, like second, third rounder. I wanted the Saints to draft him because I was like, damn, this guy, I love watching him play.
I didn't know who the hell he wasn't, but yeah.
He crushed it. What's that?
I didn't know who the hell he was.
Oh, see, I did. I remember watching him late night in his junior year, his year before he got drafted.
Gambler.
What's that?
I was sleeping, getting ready. I was
sleeping
preparing myself for Sunday morning fantasy football, but that's another thing.
But I was watching.
What was that?
He said he was watching BYU at night. I was sleeping, preparing for fantasy football.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I'm watching
I was
BYU
preparing for going to church.
The only reason I'm watching BYU is because I'm in walk-ons and BYU's there, and I'm leaving.
Gambler's hell.
And I'm still like kind of jacked up from the medicine that I'm prescribed.
You actually watched the TV when you were in
How'd you get prescribed cocaine?
Huh?
What?
I prescribe Vyvanse. I don't ever do cocaine. You know that.
I know that.
You know that.
Tried
don't put that
many
on the airwaves.
Don't put me out. Don't you do that to me, Ricky Bobby.
But I go home, I watch, I see, I'm like, damn, this guy's fun to watch. Obviously BYU. So then you start hearing some chatter. The next year he blows up, and before the year started, we watched the first game of the season. He's playing on primetime after whatever. I remember I was at a friend of ours. We're watching the game at their house. And I'm like, damn, I want to watch this guy play. Like, this guy, I want the Saints to draft him. And then he blew up, ended up not being. He was a big first round. I was like, hey, he's not going to be in the Saints. I want him. So I think he's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see the jump that he makes from last year.
I'm skeptical about them simply because I feel like
I do like their head coach.
I like the head coach.
I think they're in a good spot.
No, I do.
As far as head coach goes.
For me, the reason why I'm saying this
doesn't help him at all, though.
Huh?
That doesn't help Zach Wilson.
The reason why I'm saying
it helps the continuity and like if you have a big leader at the top, that's a good.
But the reason why I'm saying this is because he's on year 2. I don't know exactly. I know like all of their like bigger coaches are pretty much like young guys, like new at the job type of thing. So like, look, they've coached before, but like you're in a new heightened role, and I feel like all the people around him are kind of learning on the fly, just like he is right now. And I think that's tough in that league to do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that I don't say they're learning. Like they are learning. There's more experience.
They're experienced, but I'm saying like it's. Let's say like put it like this, like it's one thing to be a great defensive coordinator. It's another thing to be a great head coach.
Well, I agree. You make the jump in an NFL, really in any sport, right?
Yeah.
Like your first year to your second year is a big jump. That's like the biggest jump that you make, I feel like, right? As far as like, okay, I'm supposed to be good. I've gotten a year under my belt. I see the speed of this league. I see the speed of the defense. I understand how everything works now. I have another year of the offense underneath me. The next year's your jump. Take Josh Allen, for example. Josh Allen's first year in Buffalo showed some spurts, did some things, wasn't great. The next year, a lot better. The third year, a lot better. That was kind of like the jump start of him like being what he is now. You'd want to see Zach Wilson make that jump.
Yeah. I agree. I think they'll be better, and they got a lot of talent there. I just think that it's just everything's so young. It's going to be hard.
I'm not saying they're going to be great.
Win.
But
I do think they'll be way more
Jets
competitive.
fan, as a Jets fan, you have to be like, damn, I have a little hope now.
Yeah.
You know? As far as like, damn, in the past,
I agree with that.
Not so much.
I agree.
But I mean, look, NFL season's gonna happen. All the teams, there's a bunch of injuries that are about to happen. Always happens when camp starts. Ryan Jensen,
it's already
for the
started,
Bucks, out. I like Ryan Jensen. You know, I think he's obviously a huge part. Like having your starting center go down, like
Taysom
a Pro
Hill
Bowl
got hurt,
center.
I think today.
Yeah, he hurt his ribs.
Ribs? Oh, that's fine.
I mean,
it sucks.
It ain't gonna be bad.
He's a
Mormon had to give a rib to the woman so God could create, right?
My point is the injuries.
I don't think it's a Mormon.
No, Mormons
Believe in like John Smith.
Jumping on beds.
Yeah.
John Smith is the Mormon leader. I saw Mormon, the Book of Mormon in New Orleans.
Book of Mormon.
So I learned all about it.
Yep, there you go. The Broadway play.
Trey Parker, Matt Stone would lead me astray in what religion is.
Trey who?
The creators of South Park wrote that play.
Yeah, South Park wouldn't lead you.
Yeah, they
astray
would.
on
Yeah,
religion.
they take
love
their word
religion.
For gospel.
They love religion.
Or the book of John.
The Book of Eli.
Yeah, take some. Like, was it cracked ribs? Or like,
Did you know he was blind that whole movie?
Yeah, I did.
Did you call it?
No, I just knew. Yeah.
The Book of Eli?
He's
Blind the whole time.
Lloyd didn't know he was blind until the third time he saw it.
I thought he was going
I thought he was going off instinct like Kyler Murray.
Hey.
Didn't
They tried to set it up like Mila Kunis was going to be the next Book of Eli.
It's been so long since I've seen
I mean,
it.
how can you have 2 Book of Elis?
They're going to set it up for like, just in case the movie popped. They're like, oh.
I mean, it wouldn't be
She
bad.
took the book and she took the swords and guns and walked into the sand. You don't remember the ending was like setting
Why
up
do you
like
remember the ending so well? How many times did you see the movie? Seriously.
I know when he transcribed
Right.
the Bible to them. That's all. I mean, I don't remember that after that. Good possession right there.
Yeah, rib injury. That's what
Rib injury. Let's get back to that.
Rib injury.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
Book of
last.
Eli 2 coming soon.
Yeah. That's not gonna take long to heal. But yeah, I mean, that's you get here now. You're gonna have, and the problem is the worst part is. Here's what I'm looking forward to.
Did y'all see Davenport?
I just don't understand how you can have the Saints at. Well, I guess with the schedule it is.
I
But
get it.
I'm very excited to see what they do. There's so
Me
many
too.
weapons they got.
But here's what I'm looking forward to, as far as like when camp's starting to get away. There's a few things. One, I love to hear about the hype of these guys that nobody's heard of, right? Like, oh my God, this guy's having a great camp, and you look back and he's on the practice squad, right? Because you hear that every year. I'm looking forward to the joint practices and the fights. Happens every year.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking.
They got one against the Bucks this year, by the way. Why would we do that?
Who we do?
Yeah.
The Saints have a joint practice with the Bucks.
Yes.
Why would you don't have joint practice against your division?
I literally just heard this yesterday. Yeah. They
No
did.
way.
I swear. I'm telling you.
That's a bad.
Because they
that's
were
a bad
talking about
idea.
it about the Jensen injury situation, and they were talking about joint practices, and they got one with the Bucks this year.
That's a bad idea.
I don't like it.
It's a bad. You don't want to give Tom any other type of ammo.
I don't like it. I don't like
that at all. I hope they cancel that.
I hope it absolutely storms.
I don't know if you can cancel that, but
Hey guys, we
I don't
can't
like
do
that.
this one. Yeah, I'm out.
Unless you're doing the old switcheroo where you like don't show him anything or show him something completely different, and you're going off of Tom tries to digest everything, so maybe it's like
Tom ain't looking at the defense. He's not looking at the scheme. He's not looking at how you're playing them. He's watching them individually and how they move and how they do that. That's what Tom's reading. And you don't need to give Tom any type of, ammunition on like how to attack a cornerback or a linebacker or a safety, because you may not be using the same schemes, and you may be being shell coverage. And
I'm about to say they're gonna have.
But he's gonna read how these guys are moving.
But he still sees them, moves
Yeah,
them,
no doubt.
knows their speed.
Don't love that. Not a huge fan of that.
I don't
Wish
love
they
it either.
wouldn't do that.
I don't love it either.
I wish they would not.
Especially
because
because don't they open the season with them, or they open the season with the Falcons?
Falcons.
Falcons
are week
first
2.
3 weeks. One of the first
Yeah, I
3
knew
weeks,
it was
you're gonna
Yeah.
play them.
Yeah, I don't like that.
All I can find is that they're having some with the Packers and Patriots. I don't see anything.
God, I
about
can't
that.
wait for football season. Dude, you are hurt. You're struggling.
He's getting dominated over there.
get dominated by
What's
the
the deal? What's
I'm
going on?
I'm
I don't know.
95% sure that's what I saw yesterday.
You want to use this one?
No,
I guess it
it-
wouldn't matter.
it-
It's that
it-
mic, huh?
That's just a stand,
I know.
brother. But I appreciate it.
I know. Sorry.
It's okay. I'd rather you try to help than hurt.
That would have hurt, I think.
Yeah, but stand up for myself every now and again.
Hey, when do you think this Lamar thing gets signed?
Wait,
I mean,
they did
got
have
it.
a question in the chat, and
Okay.
you've told the story before, both of you, but they
Both of
asked
Both of yous.
if you've ever been to a UFC fight. So if you want to
Oh,
do
yeah.
a quick, spell it the abridged version.
Okay, well, I'll give my version of it first.
Where'd you watch
Was
it?
I actually in the building?
That's true.
No. Was I in the city? Yes. And it's, without being to the actual event, it's the best sporting event I've ever been to.
Yeah.
So
And
I'll tell you that.
I will echo that, but be just
We also got lucky, too. Like,
We did.
when you look back at it and think about what event it actually was, you're like, damn, that was
Yeah.
like a monumental one.
Yeah. So I went to me and Jared and Bo. We went to Vegas, and I had 2 tickets, and Jared was a last minute addition. I wish I had more tickets. Me and Bo were sitting front row at the McGregor-Aldo fight. It was McGregor's first real. It was a reverse flying fist. knocked out
No, it was like the
Aldo in
8-second
first
fight.
The backhand.
like 12 seconds.
No. He
He
was
threw
like
the
a
left
step
hook.
back, like left hook.
I thought it was
in like
this.
8 seconds of the fight.
spinning
He
back
stepped back
fist?
with no.
Was it not the spinning back fist?
No, it was-
you were there,
Aldo
no.
charged him. He
Oh.
stepped back with the left and threw the left
Yeah.
hook and caught him.
He threw a left hook
that's
within
right,
like the
that's
first
right,
like 8
that's right.
seconds. And he was
Like
out.
first, the first whatever 10 seconds was knocked him out. The whole arena was Ireland. It was like awesome, and we had people jumping on our back from like 3 rows back, like with the Irish. Like it was awesome.
My favorite part of the story is, which he doesn't tell it enough, is that they were sitting front row, and like you realize like at these fights, like the first 3 rows, they can literally pan the camera and you probably know who every single
Now
person is.
I will say this. So we were sitting on the front row. We weren't sitting like front row of the VIP section.
Yeah, but how many times did y'all get people checking your
dude.
credentials
So
because
I'm
they didn't
sitting
think
there-
that they belong
Hey,
there?
I'm sitting there like dressed kind of like this, but I have like a short sleeve hoodie on, and or no, like a hoodie rolled up, and like just sitting there, and we have these lanyards.
Vegas cold nights.
Me and Bo. It was December too, so it was like
Freezing over there.
me and Bo.
I thought that was the.
We got our credentials checked like 6 times. Hey, are you on the right seats? Yes. These are our seats. Can I see your ticket? Here. Okay, sir. Do you need anything? No, we're okay. 5 minutes later, somebody else walks by, looks at us like. Now, meanwhile, next to us, you have this guy, this huge ass cowboy hat. And he doesn't Stone Cold Killer doesn't say anything because the rodeo was in Las Vegas that same weekend, and he didn't say a word to us. You get an old cowboy like.
Traps up to your
No,
fucking
just
earballs.
older guys. Like he wasn't like
Oh.
Jack, but he was just sitting there. He didn't say anything to us. Me and Bo are having a good time. We're looking at all these people. A lot of talent walking in that room. A lot of talent.
Beef.
So we're walking through. McGregor walks right in front of us. Intro, like sick. Fight happens. McGregor wins. Guy next to me looks at me. He like doesn't say anything. He looks up. Actually, didn't even look at me. Just stands up. Well, I just won $70,000 and just kept going. Just left. Like no smile, no nothing. I'm like, huh, okay, that's who sits in the front row. Not me. That's
Paid for my
it
ticket
was
and
great.
and more.
I was 24, 25.
No intent to gamble. Just I'm gonna enjoy these
Oh
10
no!
seconds.
I was getting intent to gamble in the casino.
Oh, I hit the
yeah.
gambling in the casino now.
That was probably. I've had 4 or 5 Vegas
red.
trips.
Well, let me tell you.
All black.
4 or 5 Vegas trips. That was probably the best one. And there was a couple reasons why. It was a smaller group of guys. It was just 3 of us. Plus we met some other people there. The other times we've had like 20, which were awesome and really fun. But
We ran into funny part is just because he was with people we knew. We ran into Joey Gallo there. It's the first time I actually met the guy, and he was really nice. So I kind of feel bad for him these days.
yeah, I like Joey.
I was like, damn, he's actually that
Couldn't
nice
hit
dude.
then, can't hit now.
Feel bad for him. It's tough.
That's when he
Rough
was supposed to come to LSU. Loves LSU. He had signed with LSU. Supposed to be here. Loves it.
I wouldn't say supposed to be here, but he had time with
No,
us.
but like that's where he wanted. If he was gonna go to
He
college,
wasn't coming here.
that's where he wanted to go, and he would just talk about LSU. He wanted to talk about LSU. It was awesome. Stroman was there. It was
Brandon
just-
Strong.
Yeah, it was really weird. He kept trying to talk about LSU. We're like, bro, stop. I'm not trying to hear that right now.
Yeah, we just look. See where we are.
Leave me alone.
See where we are. The chain smokers are on stage. Let's just focus on them. Let's
What are
focus
you
on
talking
them.
about? You've been in the big league.
But yeah, that was to me. That was probably the best sporting event that I've ever been to, and I've been to a World Series game. Never been to a Super Bowl. You have. Never been to a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
How do you figure it out?
Still wasn't. I didn't really forget it. It's just I'm serious. I've never seen anything like that. Like I was in Miami for the Saints Super Bowl, and it was ridiculously
You
packed.
didn't go to the game though.
No, ridiculously packed. I went to a handful of like ridiculous parties. I still have never seen anything like I saw in Vegas when people were literally piggyback riding, hanging from street lights. I'm like, this is a jungle out here. Like
You know
it was,
what was? You know
was
what
that
else
fun.
was crazy?
the
Atmosphere?
Irish, baby.
It was wild. Nah, it was wild.
I'll tell you the other, like, there's probably 3 crazy, like, now, other 2 one I was directly involved in, the other one you could say I was directly involved in too. Like, obviously, I didn't have a dog in the fight at this UFC fight. Like, I didn't.
Yeah. We were pretty new to the UFC game at that
Yeah,
point.
and
I
like,
didn't really pay
I
attention
just
it that
wanted to
much.
see a good fight. Like, it was awesome. Never been there. And it exceeded my expectations and, like, best live sporting event that I've been to, right? 2009, when the Saints won the Super Bowl, I was in New Orleans. The celebration after that in New Orleans, like downtown, was unbelievable, right? Like that was like, damn, this is like the whole city It didn't matter who you were. Everybody was like aligned in one common goal, and it was to, hey, we're gonna get as fucked up and have party as much as we can because our team won the Super Bowl. The other thing was the third one was I was in Detroit. This was in 17, and we were in Cleveland, and it was right after Cleveland won the NBA Finals. I think that was 17. Was that 17?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was right after they won the finals. LeBron and Kyrie and all these guys. Yeah. And we were in Cleveland when they came back to celebrate. And I'm like, damn, it's pretty sick. It's pretty badass. You can see,
I can tell you another memorable sports time I had was, I think it was 17 or 18 again when the Saints lost to the Rams.
Louis?
To the Rams.
Los Angeles? St. Louis? Which one
It was
were
LA
they?
at
The no call.
The no call.
The no call.
It was LA.
It was LA.
That right there.
I was there.
Outside of that right there. Yeah, you were. That right there
I was in
outside
Sean
of
Payton's
maybe.
suite.
And like the LSU games were,
big
they were
deal.
great. I'm just saying as far as for like a professional experience, just being around and in the city, that I was like, that's one of the greatest times I've ever had too.
Hey,
Very memorable. And it was
was
great literally up until that play. And then when everything, it was like somebody pulled the plug.
and you
on
had
the city.
Greg the leg kick
like
the
legit,
60
literally
yarder.
like they pulled the plug on the city.
That ball would have been good for 80 yards.
It was unbelievable. I was actually working at the former place, watching it on TV. I had to run commercials for it. Great time. Loved it. Loved watching. The TV was as big as his laptop. Like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. I knew it. And I'm like, Greg the leg lines up from
I'm
60.
living my dream right now.
Yeah, I'm living it. From 60 yards. And you're
I think there was like 58.
It might have been 58.
Yeah, but
it was
like,
way
But
too far.
it was gushered.
It was
It
way too
wasn't
far
even-
for it to be over the
I'm
top
not
of the goal
joking.
It hit over the
post.
net.
He kicked it. It hit the back net like he kicked a 35
It
yard.
was still going. It wasn't coming down.
As soon as it left his foot, you're like, that is so good.
And I'm sitting there, and then it
He
was
hasn't kicked a true one
deathly
since.
quiet
You know,
since then.
if you watch him over the past 3 years, everything comes off his foot as a knuckleball. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he
what
sold
was
his
this when we
soul.
needed that?
Was that 18?
I think it was 17 or
Because
18.
which
18
one
might
was
have
the
been the
Vikings?
Vikings.
Which one came first?
Well, it was the
Vikings, Minnesota Miracle came
Yeah.
first, Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs play came first.
And then
Then a no call.
Then the
and
no
the
call.
Nola no call.
then the Kyle
and then
Rudolph
the Vikings
push-off. And then the Rudolph.
again,
Then
the
the push-off,
Rudolph, the
yeah.
red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah.
Found his
Who's
way.
now-
Has there ever been?
Who's now a Buccaneer?
Now we've talked about this before, and I don't want to bring up bad memories. The Saints have had probably over the last, since they were good, since 2000.
6.
Let's say since 2006, have to have some of the most agonizing playoff.
No, that's.
defeats.
I mean, they're bad.
The Beastquake.
Remember
And
when we were
it's-
watching? Remember when we were in Tampa
Beastquake.
and we were working out and they lost. That's when they lost to San Francisco.
Alex Smith,
God,
quarterback
yeah.
keeper.
Yep.
Yep.
And it was like they're going toe for toe, like they were going
And I
body
saw,
for body.
Vernon
I'm pretty sure
Davis
I saw
was-
something a while back,
Ugh.
like maybe a month or so ago too, where I want to say over the last like 10 years, in the regular season, the Saints are like top 2 or 3 in the league of like
They have
wins.
the most regular season wins.
It is the most.
Yeah,
yeah.
since
It was like I knew it was
2006.
like top 2 or 3. I didn't want to misspeak about it, but it was way up there.
But
So
they
it's like
had-
all the hype was there for a reason. Like
With
we didn't
13-3 every year.
didn't just run into the divisional round and the NFC Championship and stuff like that.
And
Like,
that's
it's-
you know what's crazy about that is that's 3 years of going 7-9 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
3 years 7-9, 7-9, 7-9, and then they flipped the switch again and did the whole thing. But you had Seahawks,
Yeah.
2 of the Minnesota games, the Rams. You have the
Tampa Bay game at home
this
during
one where they
COVID
fumbled.
with no fans.
Yep.
Like, so it's not a home game.
And
you
you
have Tom
have-
Brady with nobody in the stands
Yeah.
just going, he's here.
and Tom
he's
didn't even
here.
have a good game.
Put
No.
Tom on the road with no fans.
It's a
The
practice.
fumble.
That's bull.
Then you had then you had the 49ers game. Then you had there's another one that happened. I mean that's
Oh, the Bears. I mean, really, honestly, you go to Chicago in the NFC Championship and you're winning that game. And
yeah,
then
it's just a lot of heartbreaking. That's what makes it so hard in the playoffs. A lot of crazy things. Now, nothing is worse than the stretch
three.
of really 2.
The-
I'll say
the
2. Like
the
I'll give the
miracle
push
and
off.
the-
We didn't play.
They didn't play great, but still.
like Minnesota and
that's,
the,
that's what, we're reaching for that.
Yeah,
or
right,
let's just
right.
put it like this: if the push off happened first before those last 2, you would hate it way more. But it was just because the way those other 2 went before that, you were like, oh, this
Listen,
is as bad.
And
I think
because
the
you
Ma-
had the challenge of pass interference that was looming,
Yeah.
like that was the whole point. And then the Saints game, they're like, we're not reviewing this. Like
Yeah.
that play was good. It's
What
like,
do you-
this is the whole point of the rule that
What's
we just.
worse though? Like losing a game on a play that you know you should have made, or losing a game on a play that you have no control over the call?
This latter.
I think the no call was worse than the miracle.
I agree, but all you have to do
Depends on who you are.
That's what I mean. All you have to do is make a tackle. Just touch the guy, get him out of bounds, and it's over.
Throw the flag and it's probably over.
No doubt. But my thing is
it was definitely
that's
over.
something
Yeah.
you can't that is right. That was 100% the wrong call.
See, no,
I agree, but
I think
you can't control the ref.
Maybe not the push
You can
off.
control this is a Hail Mary. The ball is not even in the end zone. This guy has to catch it, stay in bounds, not get tackled, and run.
You know what? It sucks too because
He did it.
Marcus Williams actually had a hell of a career.
I know.
Good.
He's been great.
And that play right there sticks out way
And
more
what
than
happened was he
anything
got
that
there too early, didn't want to have a pass interference,
Yeah.
and pulled up and just lowered his head and then lost where he was at. That's what happened.
I think if he makes that play,
Go for the pick.
He's still there.
he
Or
may still
break
be
it
there,
down
but,
and just
think of him.
let
way
him catch it
higher
and just
than
push
that.
him out of bounds. You know
See,
what I mean?
I think the push off is a better argument to you can't control the refs because that's a common play that gets 50-50 all throughout the season. That no call against the Rams, I mean that's hard
That's
to take.
No doubt.
It wasn't even just that it was a no call. It was
Just
it
the
was-
nature of it.
it was so blatantly a pass interference that it was not
There
even
was
funny.
honestly a few penalties in that one. Pass interference, targeting.
Yeah.
Guy went helmet to helmet on the guy.
Yeah.
He launched himself out of a position that is. I don't know if that was a targeting rule in place. By
No,
then?
but it'd been unnecessary roughness.
I will say this too. There's very few times where you can say, "Hey, this penalty lost us the game." But
That is
that is the definition of because if that's called,
It's over.
it is run, not even run. It's kneel, kick from the 3. Ball game's over.
Super Bowl.
Ball game's over. Super Bowl.
And
They
let's
literally
be real.
lost them the game.
And let's be real, you knew that if the Saints had the best chance of winning the Super Bowl, they're playing.
Yeah, I
the
watched a
Patriots.
9-3 game or what?
The Saints had the best chance of all the teams. They were probably going to be the favorites in the Super Bowl. Okay, they're going to be really good this year, though. Let's get back to that.
The thing is,
I'm
how
all
many
in on
times
James
have you seen?
and his
too.
interviews.
How many times have you seen the zebras get together and be like, flag?
And
Even
that
after the
play.
call, they look up at the screen
Yeah, so you
whoa,
could look at that point. You
we
could just look
botched
up
it.
on the scoreboard. And
Right.
You're like, wow.
I mean, look, these people aren't just mad for no reason. Okay, we might have really fucked this one up. Let's take it. Everybody take a beat, get together. You pull the flag out your pocket, and you go, whoop.
And nobody
Pass
would have
interference.
complained. Nobody would have complained.
No,
about
they got it right. They didn't do that.
All right, positive
In
talk.
New Orleans.
Positive talk.
in New Orleans.
Sean saw a guy, my
Positive
brother,
talk.
jump from, instead of going down the escalator, he just jumped down. He just,
I'm so sad that I don't even want to go
I
down
couldn't
that.
even hold that one in.
he just went straight over the top. And they're like,
Did he die?
No, nobody really cared.
And let me just say this too, because I think this is very true across the United States. A college fan base is like crazy, right? I truly, really think, especially NFL fan bases, people are absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
They're absolutely you won't see anybody at an LSU game in an Ohio State jersey when they're playing Kentucky. You go to a Saints game, you might easily see someone standing there in a Pittsburgh Steelers game jersey when they're playing the Chargers. You're like, why are you here in a Steelers jersey? And root as if
guy.
the Steelers are playing there.
Just a football guy.
Yeah, well, AFC's over here. We got to
And then now it's a huge fight. And it's like, why is he even here? What's going on here? So I think the stuff you see in those games is pretty funny.
To take it one step further, you have 40 to 50-year-old men that have wives and children that are face painting in the mirror at 9 a.m. going,
Living
honey,
for it.
I got to go to the 12 o'clock kick."
Living for
And
it.
it's like,
It's the student section at LSU.
right. You're 50.
They just got money now to do it.
Yeah.
They never stopped doing it.
It shows up at his insurance job. It's like, brother, you got a little
I
face
just-
paint right here.
I just wanna see the-
Went to the game yesterday.
I got to slide it. I thought I slept it off. What do you mean slept
I
it
want to
off?
see the
This pillow
Saints.
just a disaster.
I want to see the Saints fans get I want it to be fun again. It wasn't fun last year.
I think
Saints
it's
games
gonna
were
be
not
fun
fun.
this year.
No, we were riding the
You have a
Sibian
lot of
all year.
personality on this
No,
team.
but I'm
I'll
just
say
talking
it.
about
I've
even
said it.
before that.
I've
was
said
no
it a
belief.
million times.
But they're winning. Before that, they just didn't have I think COVID it was like a carryover from
Yeah.
COVID.
Well,
I'm
it's
hoping
the
that this year
post
gets
Drew
back to
Brees
normal.
era.
I've said it
there's
a
lot of
million
that.
times.
Yeah,
In the
but-
fall, this place rivals anywhere in the country
football
when
field.
there's good LSU football and good New Orleans Saints football. As far as for having a good time, it rivals.
I mean,
anywhere in the
2019. That's a prime example. Like both
No,
teams
well,
are
it's
really
not a
good.
prime example because you didn't know that that's what we had in 2019. When it's like expected and it's
Oh, like the anticipation.
it's turned on and it's
Yeah.
good and it rolls all the way through. It rivals anywhere in the country.
I think between this team being better and just the personalities between Jameis, Gardner-Johnson, Ingram, Kamara, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to go. A lot of reasons to pack out the stadium.
Well, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be. I'd like one. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Makers. Yeah, don't touch the producer role. They're gonna be. They're gonna be good. Like they're gonna be fun to watch.
I really do think
like
so,
defense, and I like good defense. I think we're gonna score points.
I'll say this: it may not be a lot of points the first month to 5, maybe 6 weeks. You may see more defensive games.
The offense is gonna come on though.
But I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I agree.
It's about time we had a defense that would let the offense do that.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's about time we have a defense that will let the offense figure it out.
Yeah.
Imagine we had this defense with all those years that Drew was putting up 40 a game.
I mean, they had some good defense runner. I just hope they all stay healthy, man. Like,
2009
I say
defense
that's
was good,
actually
but they're
unrealistic.
opportunistic. They gave up
Yeah.
some. They gave up.
they led the league in
I'm talking about like
turnovers.
Yeah,
10
right.
through 15.
That was bad defense.
Yeah.
That was historically bad defense. That was honestly the 7 and 9 years. That was the only reason why they went 7 and 9 is because their defense was so bad. They just couldn't outscore. They would get beat 52-50. You know, like which is embarrassing in the NFL. But what do we got on DK's contract? Like,
It was 72
did we talk?
total?
We didn't talk about that.
Not
at the
really.
beginning,
Was
right?
it 72 total?
Yeah.
Like 30 guaranteed, like
I
on
think
like
more, I
signing
think
bonus.
50 guaranteed. 58.
But it
guaranteed.
was like 30 in the signing bonus or something.
Is that what
crazy.
it was?
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
So like, look, they're trying. There was rumors about him wanting to leave. There are rumors about what's going to happen in Seattle. Signing that deal. You don't have a quarterback. You don't know where it's going to be.
My only guess
people are
is-
thinking that the Seattle's going downhill.
My only guess is they sold the shit out of, hey, we are trying to get one of these top 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We want you to stay. And listen,
I mean,
the only thing else they could do is trade him, right? And maybe they sold him on, hey, like if we have to trade you, you don't know where you're gonna go. Maybe it's worse. Like my only guess is they sold the shit out of him on
unless they have a lot of faith in Drew Lock.
that. No.
Go get Jimmy G.
Come on, no, they don't have faith.
Go get Jimmy G.
Dude, I don't think they're trying. And I don't think it's not go get Jimmy G. Like, what are you gonna have to give up to your in-division rival to possibly beat them 2 times a year? They ain't doing that.
No,
You're not at the top of that list.
I get it. But if you're the only one that's gonna give them something to get Jimmy G, like they rather get something than not
but
get
that's
anything.
my point. So like, if I'm sitting there and I'm San Francisco's front office, I'm saying, all right, where do we not want him to go? For
No,
sure?
I get that.
Okay,
I
so
get
my
it.
point is if it's in division we don't want him to go, that means they would have to give us so much that the offer is just like, yeah,
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I get that. I just
don't think that's very realistic, especially like out the gate.
I mean,
you know?
that's the only place I can see him going. It's crazy.
Wait, if you look at the quarterback landscape, yeah, but I just don't think that's not a real thing.
I don't know.
I think Jimmy possibly ends up going. I just don't know what they got to give up, but somewhere like Cleveland, even though they gave everything away already.
Yeah, but I mean, we still don't know what's going on with Deshaun.
We don't. That's why I say possibly.
We don't know if Deshaun's going to be suspended for the year, for 4 games, for 8 games, for 0 games. He got to be suspended for something, right? You can't
I
get 0
would imagine
games.
so. I find it hard to believe he gets by. But here's what could happen with Deshaun though. Maybe some way somehow they keep pushing this thing down the road and he does play this year or a good part of this year. And the suspension doesn't come until later.
Yeah.
Maybe some way that happens.
Here's a question.
I mean, they met a month ago. We still haven't heard a single word from that whole hearing thing.
Here's my question.
A video came out today of like his deposition. Of like them asking him questions.
What's that?
A video leaked out. A video came out today of like the actual deposition of him answering questions. And he didn't answer anything.
And yeah, that came out today. That happened a month ago.
He was like,
They're out of Red Bull.
What was that, Pepsi?
I got you a tequila.
he was like, they asked him, did you find the masseuse attractive? He's like, I can't answer that. I have a girlfriend. They're like, what?
Oh, I guess. I mean, I get what he's saying. If he says, "Yeah, I thought she's attractive," like girlfriend's probably like, "Hey, I made a
It's
big
a
mistake.
deposition.
I made a big mistake one time.
Right.
when I was in college, and I was on a show, radio show, or
Recruiting
whatever,
trip to Alabama.
and I was already in college, the junior, and my girlfriend at the time, we had been dating, and I got asked a question about something, and I didn't say one way or the other. I didn't say that didn't go over very well. So I get where he's coming from.
Non-committal.
I get where he's coming from, and I wasn't like I was trying to like do anything, whatever. I just didn't.
You didn't speak right.
I didn't speak right, and I get where he's coming from.
I get it, but it's a deposition. Like, you can answer the question.
No, because that's all gonna be public.
Well, it just looks bad legally if you're like, I can't answer that because of my girlfriend.
What are y'all talking about?
The video of Deshaun Watson's deposition came out of him answering questions about all of it, and they were like, did you find this masseuse attractive? And he said, I can't answer that because I have a girlfriend. And his deposition.
That's a fair answer.
Fair answer. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That doesn't look bad if you don't answer that.
That has nothing to do with the case.
No.
Because they can't say, oh, well, you thought she was attractive.
Right.
That's a fair answer.
Well, no, I get like not
It's
answering
also-
it, but like the
it's
girlfriend
also a
reasoning in
yes.
the legal trial is weird. Like, why not just say,
But it's a yes or
I'd rather
yes.
not answer that.
They
Or
can't
that
take
doesn't-
those words and spin it against him anymore. Say, oh yeah, you thought she was hot, so you would.
Well, if
Well,
you,
yeah,
if you're the
my
lawyer,
point is not
like,
that he said,
what would
I don't
you
want
say
to
if
answer
you
that.
were?
My point was the girlfriend reasoning. Why not just say, like, that's a weird reason in a legal
Because
trial to answer?
if you don't
Because
say
if
no,
they ask
like,
that
why-
about if they ask that about 70 different masseuses,
They're
they
gonna
look
start.
pretty bad.
They're gonna start being like, well, obviously you were attracted to these women and you wanted something that.
And he's gonna be single.
No, I'm just saying he could say,
And he'll be single.
or he could
And he'll be
say
single.
that doesn't correlate to anything in the case. I'm not going to answer it.
No, you give your girlfriend some flowers.
Here's
Yeah.
here's my
Instead of-
here's my
that's what
I like the
Mikey
answer.
tried. Mikey tried the. This isn't relevant. I'm non-committal to this.
right. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Didn't work. He made up. Here's my next question.
Out.
No. Here's my next question though.
In.
Out of all of the guys coming in, right? They could be LSU guys. They could be guys that you were fans of in college last year. Going into this year, who are you most excited to watch play in the NFL? Like their first year, like not necessarily
In the NFL.
Yeah, guys. Whether they came from LSU, like I'm looking at like Derek Stingley announced that he's gonna be full go with Houston, right? Like I'm looking forward to watching him play because we haven't really got to see the real Derek Stingley since his freshman year. Now he's coming off a bad injury, and it took him a long time. Like I don't know if he's not. I'm most excited to watch him, but
I'm trying to think outside of the Saints right now, honestly.
you know,
So
like
I'm gonna go. Somebody else can answer. I'm just kind of trying to.
I'm trying
like
to think,
obviously
too.
everybody wants to see Joe Burrow second year, third year after like the.
Oh,
year
it
after
doesn't have to be a
Super Bowl.
rookie? I thought you said
No, I
rookie
mean
guys.
I'd like them to be a rookie. Like that'd be somebody that's younger that like got drafted. You know, like I mean, it's
Rookie wise for me, honestly, will be. I can't go outside of it. I'll just be honest with you. Rookie wise for me, will be Olave.
I was saying that
Simply
too.
because they're so stacked. There's so many options. I can't wait to see how they actually use him this year.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it would be Jamar Chase. Year 2, way more attention on him, way more coverage rolled to him all year long. How do they adjust to that?
I'm excited to watch. And we talked a little bit about Zach Wilson. Not necessarily Zach Wilson, but I'm excited. Didn't they? Who's the receiver they got?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. I want to see, because he is super explosive, right? And I want to see that
As the
Like,
number one guy.
I want to see if he can be the number one guy.
They got somebody else
I
there,
want to
too,
see if he
didn't
can
Corey
make
Davis.
the
He's a
make the
rookie,
impact.
huh?
Huh?
He's a rookie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
a
was
rookie.
the same class with Olave. They played.
He was drafted
Yeah,
before.
same.
Olave.
I want to see if he can make the
Jets
same
got him
impact
and,
that
I'm
Justin
excited to
Jefferson
see
did.
Sauce Gardner for them too.
Why are y'all?
like-
why are we?
No,
big
like
media
no, I'm
market
just
guys?
saying like to like
What?
compare it to like
Why are we big Jets fans over here?
no, I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm just
I
saying
I like him as a talent. I
There's,
like
a,
Zach
there's
Wilson.
a lot of things I'm
I was
like,
gonna
looking
say-
forward to.
I was gonna say Stingley, but he said it. But like just to go off of Stingley's
wanna-
point, I want
I-
to see how him and Sauce both play their first year because
I
of the
want
whole
to see
draft
how.
debate.
I want to see if
I mean, Olave. I'm very excited about Olave, but he said that.
I want to see if Dylan takes over the backfield in Green Bay. Like, there's no way Green Bay's not gonna run the ball a ton to start the year. There's no way they can just come out here.
Yeah, but I think that they've NFL has proven that you need 2 really good ones.
No.
I think that's
I'm
gonna
not saying
be-
he's literally every down, but maybe. I mean,
Here's the other
Derrick
question.
Henry's done it for a while. Maybe. Have you ever seen Dylan?
No, he's huge.
He's ridiculously
Oh, he's huge.
Well,
Actually, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that. I was probably gonna say something the same vein. When he was at Boston College, it was this man looks like.
Yeah.
No.
It looks
They
like-
call him the Quad Father.
Yeah,
just
it
to
was
give
just
you
saying,
that.
this is what
Him and,
Leonard
him,
looks
who's
like.
better, him or Saquon? Who's got better legs, him or Saquon?
Saquon is more talented, but legs.
I'm talking about legs wise.
might be the quad father.
I that was actually another one. I know you said all these main big media market teams,
That's
but like
weird.
But like, there's just I was a fan of Saquon when he came out. He's very nasty. He's been hurt for the last couple of years. Like I'm interested. Want him to do well.
I've been wanting him to do well.
Here's my thing: I want there to be more good teams in the NFL than bad teams.
Yeah.
Like I want some of these big market teams to be good because it just brings.
I want these stars to stay
fun.
healthy. I want to see more stars stay healthy. They've had a bad run of.
Who are you looking
injuries
forward to?
and
You're LSU biased, so you're gonna
Yeah,
give me
but no, I was
LSU
gonna
guy.
say outside from the obvious, I'd like to see. Obviously, Tyron's been going through some personal stuff. Haven't seen him on the field. I'd like to see how he meshes with the Saints because a lot of people are saying, and I would say Jarvis is in this group too. It's like, did you get him a year too late? Like, is this something that's like, bring him home? This is good. I feel like Jarvis, when you see him in camp, he looks extremely ready to be able to contribute.
Hey,
Michael Thomas is also in that camp.
Michael Thomas looked good.
That's an easy one to throw out.
But I'm saying,
you put a little bit of a future on Michael Thomas.
And that's what I was
you
going
got
to bring it to.
You got him at plus 1,500. I got him at plus 1,200.
Because people are hopping
how much
on.
later?
Probably 30 minutes.
Maybe 30 minutes later.
I was about to say, Lloyd, wow, you sandbagger. You just sent us that like 3 hours after you did it?
No,
terrible.
as soon as
I
I got
put
it.
a nice little. I think it's a very realistic. Because I was looking at some of the ones that have higher odds. I'm like, I mean, come on.
Well,
These guys,
who else is in that category of like is
You
coming
always
back
go
from a
for
big injury?
I hit that. No, not to.
But they don't always have to be from injury. Like it's just
It's
weird.
just,
It usually is.
I know.
Because Joe Burrow was. I would say I hit on it last year, but it was like I know who Joe is, seeing him at LSU and
you?
knowing his like. Yeah, by proxy. I talked to his father.
Joe, okay.
You're on first name basis with him.
Yeah,
now, huh?
I talked to his daddy, and knowing like how his personality is, there's no way he was going to come back and be a limp dick.
All
Like,
right.
He was going to come back and fucking look. I'm not hurt, and he cashed
How many
that.
have you had?
I never do this.
No, I'm with you, but like, so I
Can you
was
put
going.
the glove back on?
I was going more on like the younger side of it. Like I get the Jarvis thing and the entire. Cause there's a lot of question marks.
I got one.
Yeah.
Trey Lance.
That's a good one.
Trey Lance.
forward to that one.
That is a good one.
Can he take over the QB1 role? And also, Ty Davis-Price is in that backfield for the 49ers, too.
True.
I want to, because, I mean, we kind of slighted him the other day. Somebody put in the chat that we talked about the running back room. We didn't bring him up. But he was a good running back for LSU.
He was.
So,
Hey, I got
Well, we did slide. We didn't
can he-
mention him, but he was. But that was the only one we had.
Yeah,
And
can
he
he
didn't,
build
he didn't
on
come on
that?
until late in the year.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
can he build on that
Once
with the
that offensive line
49ers?
started to mess.
I got another one for you.
And they really meshed. It just run game was good.
I got
for a
another
little
one for
bit.
you. He's not
First
that young.
stretch.
Let's get back to that.
Yeah.
He's not that young, but whether you love him, hate him, whatever you want to call it, I'm interested to see what Russell Wilson does this year.
Let's ride.
I can't wait to watch him and everybody just
Hey,
wear him
man.
out for every quote.
Why
that he
is this man showing up to the practice with his jersey on?
makes. Yeah, I don't, whatever.
That truck
And
was
how
nice,
do you
though.
not know that you're not cool? Like, how do you
just-
not have?
I would
like,
love to-
and the problem is he's doing this.
Savvy sold separately.
He's doing this because he thinks what he's doing is cool.
You want to know what's funny? Is
And
that
it
no
is
one,
not.
no one
What
can
do you-
talk about it, but I would have loved to have, when he opened
He's
the
very
double
good
doors to the
quarterback.
locker room, I would have loved to see how many dudes turn. And it was like, what the like, and they looked at each other after they
You
looked at
think
him. and
people
was
mess
like,
with him?
wearing
He just
right
thinks
now?
that they're being
Is
like.
that really
they're just
Russell
joking, like,
Wilson?
You know none of them can come out and say it.
No,
They're not
I
gonna say
bet
it, but
they
they're
do.
talking about it.
No, I bet you they mess with him.
No.
No.
I said say it in the press. No, that's what I'm saying. I guarantee you they give it to him.
Hey, bro.
No, not to his face.
Like,
Yes, they do.
think so. Like,
Hey, bro, I'm
really?
telling you
I
this.
think so.
When you walk into a locker room, nobody's off limits. Nobody.
I don't think Russell
think so.
gets it.
I think
They
here's
still make fun of
Hey,
him.
I'll just tell you
joke
this.
with him.
Wait, time out. No, I'll just tell you this. There's some clubhouses, like, I don't know him personally, but I would imagine, I don't know, year 8 in St. Louis, Albert Pujols probably could have walked in the clubhouse and anything and whatever he wanted, and everybody would have been like, it's just Albert, right? So, like, I would imagine that's that situation, but, like, there is guys that are quote-unquote stars that you still will get
Listen.
just because of how you put yourself out there.
Mookie Betts walks into the clubhouse, people are giving him a hard time about something. If he did something, right? As a joke.
He's not sandlotting it, wearing a jersey to the
He's
game,
wearing his
like,
own
to
jersey.
practice.
I get it, but they still can make fun of him. They're still doing that. They can still do that. I'm guarantee you somebody said something to him that's close enough that has the respect of him in the locker room and say, okay, hey, bro, it's a bold move wearing the jersey.
I didn't know we were playing today.
Like
Yeah, that's
that, just
probably what
funny.
it was.
Like
I
nothing
mean, I would
like
be
they're
the first
like,
one to the table.
like nothing like demeaning him, but
They
like
also probably messed with him about the "Let's Ride" thing when that came out.
Everybody's
But
doing that.
The reason he's doing this is because he was so Seattle Seahawk for so long that he's like, I have to totally turn my brand around. There was probably part of him was like, I'm never leaving Seattle. As long as Pete Carroll's there, I have a home here because I'm a franchise quarterback. I had no intention of leaving. but now he's trying to rebrand himself as a Bronco and be the face of the franchise. So he's like, every time you see me, I'm in Broncos gear.
And listen,
AKA what you're saying is that
truck
Russell Wilson
behind the
is the
jersey was
ultimate
So,
company man.
yeah.
Yeah. If you need a company man, he's that guy.
Here's the deal: is like what he's trying to do is keep the
How happy is his wife all the time?
I mean,
Breakfast, got it. Smoothie, already made it.
Well,
Bags are packed.
She runs that
Yeah,
house.
but I say she could buy everything herself.
Supersonic.
I will say, as much as the jersey was a bold move, like bad move, that truck behind it was not.
No, the truck was nice.
The truck was nice.
But then when you saw what he got out of the truck, you're
Yeah.
like, bro,
Did
for
he,
real?
did he have a step stool to get out?
Probably. Mine does.
It's actually a
when
slide.
when I open mine,
It was a slide.
The steps fall down.
I mean, he's putting the Broncos. He's putting the Broncos in the public eye. If people are talking about him, that's what he wants. So
They're gonna be pretty good.
that's what you can't.
They will.
What are you doing? I mean, did you really think you were gonna get close to that?
No, but I couldn't cock all the way back.
Or did you stop? You
Um,
know what? Just stop.
But
You
yeah,
know
I
what?
mean, they're gonna be good. They're
No,
gonna be
they
really
will
good. They have a lot of talent. Their receiver room's deep in Denver.
There's a good defense
That's
there.
the deepest receiver room he's ever had, probably.
There's a really good defense there too. Still,
Good running backs.
good, very young, good running back there.
Noah
still.
Fant there.
No, he's not. He's gone.
Oh, they traded him.
Yeah, I don't know if they traded him, but he's gone. I literally just saw.
Who's
that
their
couple
tight
days
end then?
ago. I don't know.
Has to be somebody good.
I don't know.
They had two, didn't they? They drafted a blocking tight end and Noah Fant. but
Noah's
the,
gone.
the blocking
pretty sure
tight
he's
end
gone.
turned out to
Pretty
be a receiving tight end as well.
Who's that?
Or maybe they both were from Iowa and they both didn't go to Denver.
Noah's in Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, that's how they got him.
Oh, that's right. He was in that trade. Duh. I knew that.
Tough. Purgatory.
Sports show.
That's gonna be the only person that Drew throws to.
Oh, you didn't see Drew Luck throw into the net, bro.
3 in a row, bro. Right in the middle of the thing.
Gino
Like
Smith,
every other NFL
apparently-
quarterback can
and
do.
Yeah,
Except
every
for,
NFL
except
quarterback
for
would-
the guy from Green Bay, apparently.
But I say every quarterback with no pressure and
Not
they can all do
Aaron,
that.
the other guy.
Apparently,
They all do
Geno Smith's actually winning that quarterback battle.
Love.
So far.
I wouldn't be
Love.
All they have to do is have two footballs for Geno Smith, one under the guard and one under the center, and he's set.
My man makes one mistake.
And Lloyd's
he's
gonna
getting-
ride it.
Yeah,
Who,
he
Gino?
can't let it. Yeah, going one time goes under the guard.
I tell you
can't
what.
Let him
I tell
it.
you
like
what.
you
When
can
Gino
either
retires,
roll-
Gino's gonna be the one laughing at everybody because that man is
Has-
very wealthy. He is very wealthy. He is a step above Chase Daniels.
You get in the wrong batter's box. It's like, where am I?
Different.
Hey,
How?
Not the same.
Hey, Gino's a
They're
step,
right next
listen,
to each other. You know which one's
Not the
which.
same.
Gino's career is a step above Chase Daniel, and when it's all said and
And a
done,
step below
he's going to be
Matt
so
Flynn.
rich. He's
Yeah,
going to be
no
laughing
doubt.
at all of us.
No doubt. Look. I don't.
I'm laughing at him now.
That's okay. He don't
I'd
care.
love to laugh
Hey,
with
you
him.
give me that paycheck, I'll let you laugh all day, bro. What you need?
I'll
What you
take
want?
that job.
Yeah,
What you
not,
want?
Not for you to take snaps, but I'm
Hey,
with
is
you.
AJ McCarron still in the NFL?
You just keep showing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at his check.
He was on the
Every
bench.
Just keep
time.
showing. You keep showing up. I keep getting
He
these.
puts it under white.
Is AJ McCarron still on the team?
This fake.
I don't know.
I can't get anything out right now with Lloyd talking.
Oh, sorry.
Every time I get out, Lloyd's just
He's a
keep
free
going.
agent.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just
He's a
saying.
free agent.
You don't have to mute yourself. I'm just trying. I was trying to get the conversation, and then I can't get it out.
Stop being a mic hog, asshole.
Mike, yeah, hugging the mic. Stop getting all the attention.
McCarron is a free agent.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. You can still chime. I want you to chime in. Don't go mute on me. Don't go.
Lloyd,
deaf.
don't get butthurt.
I know.
over
Don't
there.
get butthurt. I was trying
Like
to have
you don't hear us.
conversation.
Hey, you're muted right now. You can actually still hear us though, because you have the headphones on. So,
He
it
muted
don't
you,
work
Mike.
that way.
So he's a free agent. He's not. He's probably done.
Probably.
He ain't playing no more. What? I'm not saying you not to talk. I was just trying to bring up more of the conversation of what we're trying to talk about, and I couldn't get it out. I was getting loud capped over there.
It's
okay.
I didn't mute me. I muted you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That would be a boring show because then nobody was really talking.
Listening to
There.
anything.
Okay. Well, what else were we talking about? What were we talking about? NFL?
Yeah.
Way to ruin the mood, guys. Oh, we're gonna
yeah.
talk about it. First
We
hour.
had a big rant about it.
We came out hot, you know.
We didn't have a big rant. We just had a conversation about what was going on.
That was longer than you wanted it to be.
It was longer than I wanted it to be.
80.
Like
Too many.
40 to 42, I think. I counted it.
Do you have to get rid of
They
7
gotta knock
guys?
it down to 35.
They'll have to knock it down 5 to 10 guys.
Can you? Exactly. I don't know. I
Probably,
mean,
probably some. I would assume a few of that signing class.
Some of the
and
pitchers-
the arms aren't going to make it. It's gonna be mostly pitchers that get cut, I would think.
What do you mean? Pretty much everybody announced they're coming from the signing class.
No, but some of the guys that weren't like draft contention guys that might not make it through the fall.
I would imagine the top of the list is guys that are returning.
But yeah.
That's my guess. I mean, you don't bring in the guys you bring in if you thought the guys.
Well,
you had
I typed out the whole. I typed out like the whole roster, like outfielder stuff.
I know
you might lose like one of the catchers,
I would imagine.
and then most of there's a lot of pitchers.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
pitchers.
right.
You just don't have the room.
Look, did I make you
just don't
mad?
have the room to cut
I didn't mean to
from
make
the
you
infield
mad.
outfielder group.
I didn't mean to make you upset. I'm talking to you. You can speak now.
Permission to speak?
You can speak
You
now.
have permission to speak.
You're mad.
No.
You're a little upset with me.
can talk to me.
No,
I didn't mean to call you out like that.
Vetted.
I wasn't trying to call you out. I was just trying to talk. I was just trying to get that one little bit out so we can put a bow, like you like to say, on that
What did you
conversation.
say?
You just don't have
Exactly.
the room.
Can't listen. Remember when in middle school they said you can't listen if you're talking?
Oh, see, they were wrong.
You're talking.
I'm
Good listen.
doing both.
You don't have the room.
I'm preparing for Wednesday's show whenever you're not here, and it's going to be me and
Monday?
Jay.
That's
Mitch.
another
I'm trying
top.
to
That's
get-
another topic we need to
Trying
get
to
on.
get that rapport to where
We
it's the
running
same
that thing,
thing.
baby.
That's the other topic I'm gonna talk about.
So yeah, I'm always preparing.
We are
I'm
ready.
no Kyler Murray. I'm doing film study right now.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm trying to build this relationship with the host, and then you're secondary at this point. I got to get, I'm not taking reps under this center anymore.
Okay. Or the guard.
Or the guard, depending on
Or
who
the
you
guard.
are.
Or the guard. I mean, show's winding down anyway. What? What do you got?
I mean, if we put
Aaron
all
Judge
of these,
had 40 homers yet? 39?
39.
if we put all of
Walk
these
off.
It went
One
last,
nothing.
and it was way back.
Walk off 1-0.
Way back.
He looks so comfortable in the box right now. He is.
I would be too if I had 39
wiggle,
homers.
like,
How many games
super-
left? How many games left? How many
A
games
lot.
left? I know, count them. Let's count them. How many games left? With?
I
Jack.
thought you
Oh,
meant.
Jack.
I thought you meant wait. I was like, who?
Should we bet on him to hit a home
I
run
don't know
tonight?
though, because like that depth in the infield, he might need him.
Who's
Judge.
pitching? Give me the matchup.
Well, I know, but even hold up, I have it typed out. Everybody that. So
Well,
you
hold on,
got-
before you
so
do that,
we're-
give me the amount of games left in the MLB season.
Probably 58.
No, more than that. I'd say 70, maybe 65.
How am I supposed to count all these?
Just
I
count the
guess-
amount
yeah,
of
I
total
guess.
games that they've played so far. Because I'm gonna try to predict the amount of home runs he's gonna hit the rest of the year.
It's at 39
He's
now.
got 62 left.
62 games left.
To hit.
So if he's got 39, I want to, let's say what
I
does
say
it take to
55.
get to 62? So
To get to 62,
23.
Yeah, he's got to hit. No, yeah, 23. I say he's gonna end with 55 to 58.
he could hit 62 homers. He could hit 23 home runs in
I
2
say you
months.
can, but I say he's gonna end with 55 to 58, somewhere in there, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You imagine hitting 50 homers in a
50
season?
home runs. He did his rookie year.
I know.
Yeah.
And then Pete did it the year after, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Year or two after that, but yeah. I think they're the last two
55
guys to do it,
Homers.
right? Well, besides Salvador last year. He hit 50, didn't he?
Did Salvador get to 50?
I think so.
So.
That's crazy.
See, but
to me
that's
he did
also
that.
the conversation we were having the other day where we were talking about the Jeter situation, how everybody's like, oh, he wasn't that good. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're that good or not. When you perform well in that media market, you're great.
Did y'all watch the episodes last night?
I didn't get to see the second one. I
I
watched
did.
the first
I watched
one.
them
Hey,
How jealous was A-Rod?
Everybody,
Dude,
it's
everybody's
well
known
known
that.
in baseball that A-Rod's a turd.
Yeah. But I mean, he couldn't hide his jealousy. Even like when they
Will
interviewed him,
Self-
even when they interviewed him for the new ones, he was like, "I still stand by it." It's okay.
no. Listen. I don't want to disagree. I'm not disagreeing with what he was saying as far as like him having. And Derek said the same thing. Jeter said the exact same thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna compare stats, my stats don't compare to his stats. Like I know
Yeah.
that. But I've won the World Series. I've been the captain. But
No,
to
that's
go
what I'm
out
saying.
to
The
go out of
quote
your way and
The
say that
thing
is
of
not
it
right.
is, the thing of it is like me and Mikey. Me and Mikey have known each other for a long, long, long time, longer than they did. Like imagine if us two were in the big leagues right now in two different spots, getting brought up together in every conversation, and then all of a sudden I have an interview and I'm like, yeah, but nobody really worries about Mikey though. They got those other guys behind him. Like, to not have the wherewithal to understand,
Yeah.
like, bro, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like,
And
don't
he
do
said
that.
anybody hitting second, it's not like hitting third or fourth.
He's like literally like that's taking shots and like you to not have the understanding to feel that that's not okay is just I'm out.
And then,
Nobody can-
and then when they go back to ask you about it, he says, "I still stand by it."
yeah.
Yeah, no
could-
doubt.
The only thing I'll give,
A-Rod's in a tough
listen.
spot.
I'll give A-Rod one thing is that he literally said last night, he said there were some things that happened for him growing up that maybe he was so insecure, this and that. So he
did admit that he is insecure.
He's aware,
Right.
But that doesn't take it back. That's why his reputation is what it is in the game.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is.
I mean, but I absolutely love
Oh, I love it.
that show.
I
didn't get to
watched
see
all
the second
4 last
episode.
night because I hadn't seen it before.
Oh, that's
last
good.
night.
So you had a
Did
good
you
night.
think
My friend had wisdom teeth out, so we were just sitting at his place while he was recovering. We were just watching all 4 of them.
Oh, recovering. Y'all both were
Well,
recovering.
I was just keeping him company, like a good friend.
Don't let
know,
Lloyd
yeah,
do
me
this.
too.
You just don't have to. You don't have to take this.
Look, just because Lloyd likes to dabble in this kind of stuff,
just because
doesn't mean
Lloyd
that
can't
you
sit
have
down
to
and
do it.
watch TV doesn't mean that anyone else can. So just don't listen to him right now.
We,
What
were you
we
gonna say?
did,
we
what
waited
were you gonna
walk
say? You were about to say
on. Well,
something.
I waited walk on.
He was
can't
he
eat,
was
so-
talking. You were about to say something, and you heard about drugs, and said you had to.
We
had to-
waited walk
Take
on.
advantage when you can.
because he can't eat. But he
and
can't
you can't
eat.
drink through a straw,
Nope.
or then no smoking.
No, he got him out yesterday, so he was literally just like changing gauze
Oof.
out, like he was in pain.
You have a video of when he got out.
Yeah, but he won't send them to me. He showed me, but he won't give them to me.
He knows you're gonna.
He
blast
was
him.
very smart
He
of him.
was
Because he would be
drugged up.
he would be on mic'd up, drugged up.
Oh,
He would be
listen
my
to the
curtain
experience
call
was
if he,
terrible.
you know.
I've never had mine out.
Get it
I have
together.
all
Do you
4.
still have them?
They're all in my mouth. They're fully out of my, but my mouth is big enough.
I was
where
only
they don't have
born
to-
with 3.
They're not moving it, so
I got all 4 pops.
The
See.
mouth is big enough.
they said that it's not affecting your teeth, and if it's not hurting you, you don't have to take them out.
Yeah,
So I'm not
I
taking
got
them
all
out.
4 taken out at the same time. My dad told me I walked to the car and I don't remember any of that. I'm like, you lying?
yeah.
You lying your ass?
Was it an Irish holiday?
Boy, those drugs are
Apparently,
special.
like
Boy.
my mom told me, when I woke up, I was reciting the steps of the surgery that they were going through while I was out. I said, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't get put all the way out.
Every time I've gotten put
You know
under,
what's creepy is when you come
I've tried
out
to
of
fight
anesthesia, like when you're under and you come out and you're like awake and you can see them doing everything.
anesthesia is a hell
That's
of a
not
drug.
supposed to happen.
No, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Well,
Yeah, I've
go
heard of
see
people-
Dr. Tim Courtney if you don't want.
I've
to.
heard of people waking up during surgery, like
Some
kind
people
of.
have,
That's what I mean.
some people have a
I know that,
condition
but it
where like,
happens.
their body processes anesthesia drugs. Well, no,
No, it happens
because there's like
Have you ever had
there's a-
happens
sleep
more than you
paralysis?
no, because there's a condition
Have you ever
where like
felt- I've
somebody's
never had
blood will
that.
process anesthesia
It's when
drugs
you don't-
faster, and
No,
you
I know
way
what
to
it
tell
is.
until it happens.
If you don't get a lot of sleep, you get sleep paralysis. I can't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can't move?
You're awake, but you can't get out of the state you're in.
Sleep paralysis?
Yeah. I used
There's
to
a
get
scary
it
movie
working
about it on
traffic.
Netflix called Mara. I watched it. It's a good one.
Well, live it. I lived it.
It's
It's
crazy.
tough.
Jesus. Take
How long does it last?
It feels like an eternity, but it's like 3 seconds, 5 seconds. But you're literally fighting 2 things. You're fighting your dream brain and your like physical
Wow,
brain.
it's crazy.
It's fun.
The brain's crazy.
Yeah. Always keeps you on your toes.
Hitting coach. Never mind, I'm not gonna say what he said. Mind's a powerful thing, bro. Mind's a powerful thing. It's the only thing that can make you do something without touching something.
Come.
What?
He told us that in his speech. I'm like, what?
I've also heard a speech that you know who the toughest guy in the room is. The guy that can come first and third in a threesome.
Bro, what?
That was in a speech?
From a coach.
What coach
Wow.
was this?
I'll tell you off air.
My 14-year-old travel ball coach.
Dad,
Hey, do we have a?
you're
Do we
alive?
have? Do we have a not my fault?
No, that's what I was looking for. When you thought I was upset, I was
I
actually.
mean, we can
scrolling
use
the
that.
internet.
We can use that video.
I mean, we can.
We can.
Which video?
The Astros game over the shoulder phone.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much of it away. The one right before there.
Look at your text, meat.
You gotta put it in the doc.
I mean, he literally just sent it to us.
It doubles as a curtain call and a not my fault.
It has to be in here, otherwise I have to link it to this. I can't pull it up in here and put it on this.
Well, you don't have
Okay,
to.
so
We don't
I
have to
mean,
show the
we
video.
can-
We can
we
just
can
talk
just-
Yeah,
about
you don't
it.
have to show the video. We
Oh,
can just talk
okay,
about it.
okay.
Basically, this person at the Astros game saw somebody in front of
Wait,
him.
first off, this is.
This is not my
Oh,
fault.
this is not my fault, which is brought to you by who?
Lynch Bill, attorney at law.
No,
Those
this is
Place.
Doze.
Those
Those
E-plays,
deep
baby.
place, attorney at law.
Doze. Hey, we're back on the board. Doze. We're back on here, Doze. We found the
Banner.
banner.
Give it. Here we go. Run it.
Now go
You want to
for
say
it.
it?
No,
Should
go
we
Oh,
take
you
it?
got it.
So this lady in front of, this guy recorded this lady in front of the Astros game. Obviously, he read a few texts before he started recording, but when the video picks up, she's talking about, I think she said, you know what I want to do with your balls, and like the guy was like, do you want to cut them off? And she was like, no, I want to gurgle them or something like that.
Cuddle and suckle.
She was
Cuddle and suckle
basically
your
she was
balls.
sexting some dude
At the Astros game.
at the Astros game in the middle
Wait,
of the game.
is the text big?
Yeah,
He
you can
zoomed
read it.
in.
You can read it. He zoomed, so he's the guy behind her is videoing this.
And zooms in on her phone.
So he's skyboxing her while she's texting, and he fucking zooms in and then posts it on social
TikTok.
media about what's going on, right?
Bar still took it and took off with it because it's great.
So they took it off.
No,
No,
I don't
they
know.
took off
They
with
took
it.
off
They
with
took
it.
off with it. So here's the not my fault is it
Her
fault?
fault?
For sexting in the middle of a baseball game where
And
you're
not
in
having it
public and
covered.
not having like a privacy screen?
Or just, keeping it
Yeah.
low enough while you got that thing out here.
Or is it his fault
told me
for
like
saying,
this.
hey,
Who sexts like this?
She was like,
I'm gonna go.
think-
This
yeah.
is one of the rare times I'm gonna go both. One, him, bro. Come on, grow up. You're a grown man. Why are you leaning over someone's shoulders looking at their text? And then two, videoing it. Two, I'm gonna go with her because if you can't be sexting with your phone above your shoulders. Like, what? You don't sit here with my phone way up here while at least hide it.
listen, I don't mind her what she's doing.
No, she can do whatever she wants, but
She
like,
can do it. I don't mind
Cover
doing
it a
that in the
little
middle of a game. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
you
bro,
got to make
like,
post-game plans.
No, I've never done that.
You got to make a little post-game plan, but not in front of everybody's eyes. So you can cover it up a little bit
But for him to video it, see it, video it, and then post it like out. Luckily, you don't know who this girl is. Like you didn't see her face or anything. So like,
It was an older lady, it looked like.
Hey, you can get it at any level.
Yeah.
but hey, she knew what she wanted. She knew what she was going for.
Travel book.
I'm gonna go again too.
First and third.
Oh man.
Yeah, we went first and third a lot.
Jesus.
Enough of you. You know what?
So that's my thought on not my fault. I think it's more. His
It's way
fault
more
for
of
having-
his
Yeah.
than 100%.
Wait, so you're saying it's his fault for peeking?
For recording it.
Peeking,
For, no, not
recording.
necessarily peek. You can read it. You can
Okay,
peek.
okay, that's
It's the
then you
videoing
decide
and
to
posting
video
it to
it,
me is
yeah.
like.
So wait.
alright,
It's
that's
one thing.
aggressive.
Like it's one thing if you're sitting there and you are the. I personally probably would not do it because I just don't really care that much about what's on someone else's phone. But it's one thing if you're the person that's sitting there and you're peeking. Okay, that's one thing. Two, now you're peeking and you're like, oh, I have the presence of mind to pull my phone
Right.
out, video. Oh, I can't see, so let me zoom the video in so you can literally see the words. And then, the third tier of it is after I video it, I'm posting it to social media. Like I didn't just send it in a group chat to my friends, like, "Hey, boys, look at this." I posted it. That's
Right.
I mean, there's so
That's
many
why I think it's
levels
his
of
fault.
like you doing way too
His
much.
fault.
I will say, and I don't know if this is a bad habit or not, I'm a huge, if your photo's in front of me, even if I don't know you, and if I can see it, I am looking.
Yeah. I have that
I
bad
will
habit.
read.
I really don't. I ain't gonna lie to
Hey,
you.
I will say
I don't
this.
do it.
Lloyd
I do.
is,
If I can see it, I'm looking.
He wants to be in the know of things. He wants to know all the
Yeah,
details.
I think it's just
I don't
curiosity.
say a lot.
See, I think it's just curiosity. Like, if I can see it, I want
Like
to know
Lloyd will
what it
ask me a
says.
question about something, and I'll give him an answer that's very general, and he'll get more details. Like he's like, for what? Well, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? When are you doing this? Like,
I'm like the opposite way
I don't
around.
know.
Like if you
I mean,
if you
I'm just
That's-
making sure
you're
we're making
prodding.
informed
You're like, I didn't need to know
decisions.
all that.
you
Yeah.
can't put like moving objects in front of me because then I'm just like all over the place. But like if somebody pulls out a phone like right next to me, I just
Hey.
probably won't even look at it.
you're talking about the most. I literally thought I was ADD because I would be hitting sometimes, and I would see a bug go in front of me, and my focus would go to the bug.
Oh
and
no!
look at that.
If I'm hitting and there was like a gnat this time out, bro. Wait
And
a
so
second.
I had
can't
to
do
be
it.
like, or if there's somebody, if I can see this, if I get my attention behind the pitcher,
yeah.
I lose my focus. And I'm like, I need to go get some medicine for this because there's no way. And I got prescribed it, and it was great. It was great. Then you have the dumb guys at second base that think that they're gonna fuck with the pitcher by jumping back and forth like they're trying to steal.
No, I've had one of those.
I'll sit back and hey, stop it!
Hey, I've
Stop
had-
jumping! Stay still.
I've had one where I had a shortstop infield in, gets behind our right-handed pitcher. He shifts to where he's like literally standing in his like window, his release point. As soon as the guy lifts his leg, swear to God, two pitches. We got in a big, huge brawl over it. Like legit happened.
Hey,
I'm
high
like,
school coach,
really?
high school coach in high
that's the bushest thing I've ever seen.
Ever.
Like, are you serious right now?
high school
That
coach
happened.
in Louisiana. I don't know where he was from. Earls, so I think Will Davis told me the story. He had a play where he would bring his infielders in, like right next to the pitcher, like they're crashing, and they would shuffle in front of the pitcher's mound. And the minute that the window happened where they got past it, the pitcher would throw right between the window, and the hitter had no idea where the ball was coming from.
That's weird.
I mean, that's great timing.
How bush is that?
It's
Like
pretty bush.
They shuffle, and he's timing. He's like, okay, they're gonna get through, and then whoa.
I would imagine it's not that hard
God
to hit.
forbid the guy sees it and crushes it right at the guy in front.
That's the worst part. I was about to say, I would imagine it's not that hard to hit after you've seen it 2 or 3 times, but you're just like, you really did all of this?
Or 0-2 pitch
still
one
get
time.
If you do it one time, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's pretty bush.
All right. Curtain calls. What's the curtain call brought to us by? Lloyd?
Doe's Eat Place.
Oh, my gosh. You can try again?
Lance Bill, attorney at law.
There we go. Lafayette, Louisiana. Lance Bill. Appreciate your sponsorship. Love you so much.
LB.
Love you so much. Okay, going through curtain calls. I'm going to go last.
I'll go first. Derek Jeter, not only the
I'm out of the
documentary,
lineup.
not only the documentary, but him doing every single commercial in between his documentaries, getting double bag, curtain call.
Hey, those commercials are gold, too, by the
Yeah.
way. The ones with the kids and stuff,
Yeah.
bro, those commercials are funny.
Yeah.
Those little interviews are funny.
They're good. What you got?
I'll give them that. Those are.
You got one in there?
I do. And maybe this isn't the best one, but the nub.
You like that?
To cut, did you see the picture of it?
Yeah. I
It's
thought it was half
not-
his thumb.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it a little bit before, but the fact that it is that much of a finger missing is to make the decision, first of all, to be like, you know what, fuck it. Just cut it off because he's had multiple surgeries on it.
What finger was it?
His pinky.
Who was it?
I mean, what
Mark
hand? What
Davenport.
hand? What hand?
Left.
Left hand, yeah.
If he's right-handed, I'd cut my left pinky off
Don't matter.
If I was right-handed.
For what? That's what I'm saying. What's the...
to play.
He
So I
said-
don't have to have more issues with it.
Hey,
Go
he
for
said Pierre Paul got to 2 more contracts with the same thing.
With
you
less?
seen
Well,
Pierre's
less
With
fingers?
less.
Oh, it's terrible.
it. He's like this.
Yeah, it's awful. It literally, it looks like it came off the Lord of the Rings or something. Like, it's not good.
How do you know that?
I love me some Lord of the Rings.
I'm not concerned about you.
Hey.
Okay.
in that regard.
You're very stereotypical comment by you.
But there's not a black person
Hey.
in Lord of the Rings.
Hey. You know what? I like that.
Somebody I knew liked it very much.
Um,
I get into this shit.
Hey, I like this.
You saw Mike
Schmiegel.
Evans. Yeah. Bitch, you ain't getting no ring. Yeah,
Come
but
on.
you saw Mike Evans get the Harry Potter tattoo on his calf. Like,
See, I'm
some
off
people will
Harry
go a long way.
I like
for-
Harry Potter too.
I'm off.
I'm a big Marvel and Star Wars guy.
I like Marvel and Star Wars too. Like I'm not opposed to all
I'm off. My
I love
fiance
all
loves Harry Potter.
I've been watching the Endgame. I went through the Endgame series. I went through the Avengers series. I'm at Endgame right now.
Really? You seen them all?
Yeah.
They're just
Plenty
doing it
of
again?
times.
You're just
I
not
was
watching
bored.
Endgame?
No, I've seen them. I was just bored and
Obi-Wan is good.
I didn't get to. I haven't watched it. No.
You haven't watched Obi-Wan?
No.
Jesus.
It's good.
You're
It
not a
picks
Star
up
Wars
right where you
person.
think it would.
Okay, perfect.
It's cool.
It's really good.
I mean, we're 10 minutes over.
I know my curtain call is look, we talk a lot of quirky stuff. Like baseball players have a lot of quirky things, right? Like you have things that you do to get yourself out of a slump, or I've seen coaches come in and take the bats and throw them down the dugout and move them all around, and because they're trying to wake them up.
I've seen a coach throw the bats out the dugout and pour water on them. He's like, the bats are hot. They were not hot, but he was like
Right.
trying to wake them
Do
up.
something,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
So my current call is to Julio Rodriguez, 21-year-old,
Yeah.
right? Hits a game-winning 3-run homer with a new bat because his old one was sleeping because it was a day game. So he used some of that.
You got to tell the rest of the story.
Yeah, so the manager asked him, why are you using a new bat?
yeah,
and
he
he
basically-
said, my old bat's sleeping, day game.
Like while he was about to go on deck.
Yeah, like right before that bat.
And that's how you know he's in a good place.
That's how you know he's a good player.
Yeah, because hey, I'm gonna have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like I know that I know that I'm that good that I'm not gonna struggle forever. So shout out to Julio.
I saw a statement today that I want to know if y'all agree. They said that Julio Rodriguez is like if Ken Griffey came up with social media the way it is.
I don't know enough about him personally.
Like the caliber of player. Like if Ken Griffey had the social media, like if social media was like it is today when Ken Griffey came up,
I
you
don't
think
know,
he would get
dude.
this much attention?
The numbers that Griffey put up early in his career.
They did show. I saw something right before the All-Star break. I'm pretty positive it was Griffey threw that many games in his rookie season, and then Julio Rodriguez threw that many games in his rookie season, and it was like
Identical?
tit for tat. Yeah.
Oh.
I think I did see something.
Look, Julio's a special player.
Yeah,
He's nasty. He's gonna be good for a really long time.
What was your slump busting drill? What did you have to do?
He narrowed his
What
butthole.
was your
I've done a few
slump busting
things.
superstition?
I
What was
mean,
your favorite one?
Narrowed his butthole.
I narrowed my butthole one time.
Oh,
And he's never stopped.
in the dugout.
in the dugout.
I mean, in the locker room. In the locker room before I walked into the dugout. Like, I'm talking about.
in the tunnel. Whoa!
In the locker room
Literally.
before I went out.
Tunnel the tunnel.
Yeah.
Tunnel.
This is
Over,
gonna be
I was
on
over
Twitter
15.
tomorrow morning.
3 for 4 that day.
We don't
Great.
care. Tomorrow morning, this is going on Twitter.
I've
Lloyd,
also
I used to do heat and stem on the bat. So I'd literally clear out a training table. I'd sit the bat down with the pillow under. I'd put the stem, hook up the stem, 20
Give it
minutes,
some light.
put a heating pad over it. Let's get this thing going. That's how it used to work.
We would, me, little shot in the dugout. Like, no, not
I've
the
done that
dugout.
too.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah,
We've done that more as hey, we suck right now. We're not
that's
playing
more,
well.
that's more
Kirk
of what it was.
Casale,
Yeah.
Kirk Casale one game gave me a shot of whiskey right before I went up to bat. Like, I was
Frank
on
felt
deck.
great.
I was on deck. He called me. He's like, I thought he was going to tell me a scouting report. He goes, hey, take this. Shot it, double. Next at bat, shot it, double. Next at bat, shot it, single. I'm like, Kurt, I'm done, bro. I'm going to be drunk after this. I can't be taking more than
Don't try this again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm also 3 for 3.
And I was like, damn, like, you need some blusters to get your mind off of it.
Yeah. It's to break the
Now, there's some
monotony,
sun blusters out there
trend.
that are a little nastier.
Yeah, I've heard some
3,000.
stories.
A little nastier. There you go. A little nastier. I had a
What a great place.
man. We had a guy in Louisville. We had a guy in Louisville.
Bear country.
You know who he is. The guy with long hair that played with me. Idiot.
Oh yeah.
Went out there. I can't tell this on there, but it was disgusting and not good. And everybody's like, "What's going on?" The next day, he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. The next month and a half, he had 450. So it just took took an extra day to get in there, but
it needed a day
Crazy.
to kind of seep into the
process.
process.
It
What
probably
the hell
took.
just
Yeah,
happened?
I'm a little tired today.
yeah.
Tomorrow I'll be right.
Okay, so we went 15 minutes over. We don't normally have too much overtime here because they're a bar and they're an establishment, and we need to get rid of out of the VIP area. But great show, great Friday show. A lot of talk about a lot of different things. Got on Lloyd a little bit. Speaking out of turn sometimes. Being good.
I think
Dancing.
he muted himself.
I don't know what he's
again.
doing over there.
I think he muted himself.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all for listening. We are Mik'd Up, and we are brought to you by Sterling Automotive. I do have a couple of things, a couple of announcements. This is what I do after in the church. A couple of announcements for the congregation. See, he's doing it again. Can't help yourself.
I didn't take my medicine.
Um,
I'm about to.
Monday, we will not have a show. I will be out of town. Lloyd will be out of town. There will be no show on Monday. Wednesday, we will have a show. It will be hosted by Lloyd and Jared. And I'm getting to you. And Jack. You can't give me.
Sounds like Mikey's the one burning bridges tonight, not us.
You literally didn't even give me time to get to you. You're like, look at me. Lloyd, Jared, and Jack. I will hopefully be able to call in. I will be in a different time zone. I will be back Wednesday. Actually, I'll be flying back Wednesday night. So
Hopefully, big time.
I will call in, hopefully from my car on the way to the show, and then we will be, if I get in time, I'll be in the second half of the show. Hopefully a big guest comes on. I think he has said that he is available, so we will have him on Monday. On Wednesday. On Wednesday. No show on Monday. And we'll be live again here next week from Earls. So, appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, share it, tell a friend. Tune into our podcast, which is on Apple and Spotify. Took us a minute to get on Apple. We got there. And, again, if you're going to make some bets, also, future, if you want to put another future on a Saints player, if all my futures hit from the Saints are going to be good. That means the Saints should be really good. Win total.
Jarvis.
Jameis over the leading league in passing yards, and Michael Thomas comeback player of the year. I think Michael Thomas probably has the most real. Michael Thomas in the win is probably the most realistic. Plus 1,200. If you want to do it, promo code is Mik'dUp15. Use it or lose it. And
is that true?
Risk-free bet. I don't know.
It is actually only up for the week. Not this one.
No, I think they extended it.
Okay.
I think they extended it. Risk-free up to $1,500. There will be a new promotion coming here soon. And then we will have our own promotions that we will start doing in August leading up to the first game of the season. So, again.
It's almost here, boys.
Almost here. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Keep tuning in. We are growing. We see the.
we see you seeing us.
Yeah,
and
we see you
appreciate
seeing
it.
us, and we see you having a good time. We're hearing about it. We love it. We want to hear about it. Please interact with us, and we'll see you next week. You're watching Mik'd, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
But not on Monday.
Not on Monday.
Not my fault.
Both of our faults.